10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to another copyright strike-inducing edition of It's Only Talk and Roll. I'm surprised we're not off the air already because I didn't test any of those clips. Today, we're going to dive deeply into the age-old question that philosophers have struggled with for thousands of years since the beginning of time. The big question, the most fundamental question that's worried humanity for all time. What makes a song heavy? Screw all that meaning of life shit.
Yeah. What makes music heavy?
What makes music heavy? Today, my esteemed panel and I are going to attempt to answer this question for all time. And I've brought examples to back up our very logical arguments. Or we could just play some loud clips and just to hell with it, you know. So it's one or the other. So welcome to the show. Someone else has just joined in the background. It's Heaviest Münchausen.
Yes. Hell yeah! Are you guys ready to get heavy?
Are we playing the devil's tone? That's it.
Oh, that is pretty heavy.
We're cursed. The string is cursed.
That's Renaissance heavy.
Damn.
Yeah. Speaking of heavy, this has got nothing to do with the content of the show, but I just wanted to show it first. Although there's a heavy element to this.
There's some kind of element to this.
No.
Notice iPads, not iPhones.
I'm confused.
And
I'm horrified.
go ahead,
confused.
Dustin. What are you confused by?
I'm thinking logistically, I'm curious because that's kind of impressive.
That's breaking laws of physics and thermodynamics all rolled into one.
And think about this, guys. iPads, when they're brand new, aren't just iPads flat laying out there. They're in a big box.
They're in a box.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk about unboxing.
A whole lot of boxes.
Yeah, you'd have to double unbox all of those when she got home. Is this Florida?
Who knows? It's very possible.
What the absolute fuck did I just walk in on?
That's gotta be a meme, man. That's gotta be a joke.
That's pretty heavy. This is a pretty heavy woman.
It's pretty something. I don't think heavy's the term you're looking for, bud.
Well, I mean, she counts.
No, this isn't The Onion. This is PBS.
That's right. This is the real deal. This actually happened. The thing is, imagine getting that as a gift and not knowing where it had been, and you're like,
They should have been impressed and just give them to her.
Mom, this smells funny.
That's right. Why is my iPod not working? Why is my iPad not working properly?
Why does it smell like tuna?
So I thought it'd
I
start
don't
with
know
a
where
laugh.
this came from, but I'm going to blame Darius.
I thought it'd start with a laugh today. So, welcome to everyone in the chat. There's a whole bunch of people in there already. D-Bud, Lord Thoth, David Glenn, Papa Cotton, Massgrave, Christian Delorme. How are you? Courtney will be here soon. I know she's in the chat. She's on her way. Massgrave, how did I get this yeast infection, mummy?
Oh, no.
Nick wasn't specifically invited. He is in the group that get invited to every show, Massgrave. So you never know. He may turn up. He's a very busy guy. Poor chap. So Sumo Orange is here. Davina, the wonderful Davina. Anima Confusa. If I miss anybody, forgive me. And I'm hoping that in the chat all day you'll be sticking forward your thoughts on what makes heavy and what's a heavy thing and why. We want the why. It's easy to say, here's a list of songs that are heavy, but why? And what is that? So welcome to everybody in the chat on YouTube. We're also obviously in Rumble and going out on Twitter, I think. But
Rumble is pretty heavy.
Rumble's very heavy.
Casting on Rumble because this show has the potential to be nuked. So,
well, this show will be nuked and certainly copyright blasted into oblivion following the show on YouTube. So at least on Rumble, the original show will still exist, which is why I do that. But
Yeah, Mama Susan said, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
boom. It's the only way to be sure. That's right.
Drop a colony on it.
That won't stop us. Put it in someone's vagina. That'll nuke it.
Oh.
And they wonder why electronics don't work sometimes.
Oh.
So
Not everything is waterproofed, okay? Not everything.
we also have a special guest joining us today. Justin Proper will be with us to talk about music because he's
Awesome.
a lovely guy. He never gets a chance to talk about music. So it's great.
He's deceptively heavy. He's heavier than you think.
He is. Well, speaking of heavy, I actually have discovered the heaviest object in the universe, and Pope particularly will enjoy this, I think. So obviously you have the sun, which is pretty heavy, then neutron stars, then black holes, but heavier even than a black hole is an early 70s Les Paul custom.
Whoa, yeah, no doubt,
I
right?
mean, you can't argue with it. It's science. It's right there.
Fact.
It's like these are made of pure neutronium.
That is more certain than superstring theory.
That's right. And played through the correct Marshall stack can indeed induce gravitational waves.
Gibson and Marshall, the classic duo.
Yeah. So, as today we will be talking, as I say, about the age-old question. Here are Greek philosophers after a Slayer gig at the Acropolis discussing just what made that heavy. And as you can see, there's not a lot of agreement going on. They're split into their camps. There's the death metal Greeks, the thrash metal Greeks, the punk Greeks, and then there's the wham-loving Greeks, which were quite a large contingent, I believe. But,
Make sure you wake them up before you
Courtney's
go.
in the chat, Brian. I don't know if you noticed or not, but she's in the chat.
she is, and she will be here, and we're looking forward to that because she's given us some great choices. So we're going to... sorry, I just have to highlight David Glenn's chat. So in 1956, an associate of both Ike Turner and Chuck Berry wrote a song so heavy it collapsed under its own weight, forming a singularity. Blind Lemon Cheesecake was never heard from again.
Lemon cheesecake. That's awesome.
Is he related to Blind Lemon Pie, who inspired the Ruffles?
There's one
right.
that was
So,
almost on my list from 1954 by the name of Space Guitar.
yeah. So I'd like to welcome to the show our special guest, first time on the show, Justin Proper. How are you, sir?
Hello, good. How are you, fellas?
Heavy welcome to you, Justin.
Welcome.
Oh, we're talking metal. Yes.
This is great that you popped up yesterday in the chat and said you wanted to talk about music, because I know you're into the AC/DC and metal and stuff.
Yes.
So awesome, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be amongst friends and fellow metalheads. Seriously, I never get to talk about this stuff, so I'm very excited.
Cool. And I know we've briefly streamed a couple of times way back in the past. And I do remember you were one of my inspirations on YouTube because you were the first guy that I remember ever recording going to the bathroom in a stream.
Oh no!
I've never forgotten that inspirational moment that you can do anything on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say anything.
That's a heavy memory.
Yes, anything is possible. The magic of live streams and forgetting to hit the mute button is just, it does wonders for your career.
But it was a very funny. I can't even remember if it was your own stream or somebody else.
Well, that's what there's that on one of our streams. I almost gave away my credit card number.
Whoa!
Oh,
How did that happen?
Run that in, brother.
Went to order dinner and I forgot to mute.
Oh my God! No.
So your $250 credit limit was at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could end up in heavy debt.
Heavy debt. But yeah, welcome to the entire panel and welcome to Justin. Thanks for joining us, mate. The panel have provided selections that we're going to talk about as examples of things that are heavy and why. I didn't obviously prep any for you, but if you chuck something in the mix at any time, we'll try and call it up on YouTube. Because today I haven't done my normal in detail prep where I download shit, edit it, test it, put overlays on. Today I'm just going to play some shit. And as I say, we're going to get nuked by YouTube. I mean, it's not monetized. And so everybody that feels like supporting the show, you know how to do that. But the stream is not monetized. But like and subscribe and all that great shit. But we'll have some fun. It's all about the funds.
Yes. Don't you know?
So we have Imperitus, Joe, Dustin, Heaviest Münchausen is with us. Pope Metallicus, and Courtney will be here soon. So great crowd. So where should we begin? I know where we're going. I know where I want to begin, and it's my show. So fuck the lot of you.
Okay. No problem.
I'll drink to that, mate.
Right. So where we're going to begin is some stats. The dictionary definition of heavy is of great weight and difficult to lift or move. So it could be a Lizzo, I guess, but of great density, thick or substantial. Well, that could describe either my head or other parts of my anatomy.
Oh wow, yeah. Look out.
Your waist, maybe?
Yeah, my waist for sure. Well, that's more of an expanding bubble than it is a density. Of more than the usual size, amount, or force. So you're actually seeing some parallels with how it's used. The term is used in music: striking or falling with force. And then also the term, the way it used to be used, like it's heavy, man, like Neil and the young ones, very important or serious. And then also in Scotland, I threw this one in, a pint of heavy is when you order a dark draft beer. I'll have a pint of heavy.
The best kind.
So this is the dictionary definition of the term heavy. From a musical perspective, there are some people who've speculated loud and harsh sounding rock music with a strong beat. That the kids all love the beat, you know.
Yes.
It's groovy. Lyrics usually involve violent or fantastic imagery. So I like that because it speaks to lyrical heaviness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I keep hearing the word metal, but I think you were asking for heavy. So I thought about it as not just metal songs, but also heavy subject matter and stuff like that.
And it's also where I kind of disagree with some of these definitions a little bit, which we'll get into. But heavy and metallic are not the same thing.
That's
I was fixing to say,
Just like there's a difference between brutal and heavy.
Oh, exactly. And in addition to that, it doesn't even have to be like a rock song or a heavy metal song. You could have like a dubstep or like a DJ throw something heavy, which is in different genres. So it's kind of like you could hear something heavy and it doesn't have to be rock. It's kind of interesting how that works.
I've heard
It's like a heavy bass drop.
Oh yeah. That's definitely like sometimes like I find myself liking like DJ songs and I'm like, this is not typical of me. 12-year-old me would be ashamed, but I listen to it with fresh ears and I'm like, oh, that actually is heavy. It has some elements that remind me of the genre I love most.
Well, that's something we're going to get into. We're not finished with those page yet, but it doesn't have to be metal or even rock to be heavy. I don't think that's just a point of view. I mean, Wagner was heavy. Beethoven could be heavy.
That's true.
Yeah. Wagner was the original heavy metal composer.
Well, Hondo would definitely be
Beethoven's fourth, was it?
Yeah.
That opening. Oh, yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
can imagine people headbanging back in the day.
Yeah, with like 200 musicians playing it on an orchestra in a great hall. And you can have electronic stuff that's heavy, dance stuff. You can have, you name it, rap, hip hop. It doesn't matter. You can have a lot of stuff that could be called heavy if we knew what heavy was. And not necessarily just metal. We're going to play a lot of metal today, but that's just because that's what we're into.
I was fixing to say, yeah. We know things can be heavy, but heavy metal goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Just does.
So a thick, monumental sound characterized by distorted guitars, extended guitar solos, emphatic beats, and loudness.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with the extended solo a bit because at least a lot of the stuff I listen to, they don't even know what the hell a solo is these days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
there's almost no solos in black metal.
That's right.
Or if they are, they're very slight.
There's nowhere to fit them in. Where would you put them?
There is that. They don't technically use the standard song structures.
A style of rock, that's right. A style of rock. Yeah, a style of rock music with a strong beat played loudly on electric instruments, thereby not just guitars. What about keyboards? Can keyboards be heavy?
Well,
for sure.
Proves that.
Well, I guess Hammond organs are pretty heavy. Have you ever tried to lift them?
Oh, yeah.
Bagpipes are heavy.
I mean, just look at a lot of the doom bands that are out there. One beat a minute, and their keyboards are heavier than their drum beats.
That's right. True. And rock music that emphasizes volume, speed, and power. So there's three things: volume, speed, and power. Does it have to be fast or indeed slow? Does it have to be loud? I mean, it's loud. You can have, if you played Taylor Swift loud, would that make it heavy?
No, that'd make it awful.
That would make it even worse.
I mean, it just
70s. Are you trying to scare us off the stream? What are you doing?
I have a 5-year-old granddaughter who would disagree with the Taylor Swift stuff altogether. That's her favorite thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. You really should do better job as a grandparent, I think.
Miley Cyrus can be heavy, not Taylor Swift as much. No.
Yeah. But there it goes. And acts that are not heavy metal or heavy rock or hard rock, and there's a distinction. So they can still make songs that are heavy, and I've got a couple of examples later. They can still do something that could be said, well, that's a really heavy song. They're not a heavy rock band, but that one song.
Right. I was fixing to say, I gave you some examples of some heavy stuff that are actually by almost pop bands. Yeah. I mean, there's a line. I sometimes struggle with where is the line that makes something pop or rock and metal. I mean, there's... the lines get blurred sometimes. They do.
I agree.
Davina just mentioned "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. That is a song with heavy subject matter, although it's not metal at all.
Mm-hmm. And I gave 70s one like that too.
Yeah, and thunderous drumming, and is it guitars? I mean, it doesn't have to be guitars.
Is it possible to not drum along with that song?
Right?
No,
no.
You have to go.
You got to air drum like crazy when you hear that. Absolutely.
Justin did it. He had it nailed perfectly there. Justin did that.
Oh, really? I don't play drums, so
I got to see that again. No, let's see that again. Come on.
Right?
You got to have it. Got to have it.
I thought it was better the first time, but
you even look a bit like Phil Collins.
Do I?
No, I'm just kidding. Right, let's take a look at some examples. We've got so many, we may not fit them all in, and these are not meant to be our heaviest songs of all time lists.
They're not iPads.
They're not iPads.
Well, that's going to be the recurring joke for today.
Is that the thigh-pad? The thigh-pad.
The thigh-pad.
Apple's new thigh-pad.
I'm never going to be able to look at you guys the same way again.
So let's start with one of Joe's picks. And this is, forgive me when I do that production thing where I got to put shit on screen. Van Halen, Ain't Talking About Love. It might not be the last time we hear Van Halen today.
I think I picked that one for heavy guitar, didn't I? Yeah. because it's my boy, Eddie Van Halen. Now, I know you guys that listen to thrash metal and death metal and all that stuff. I'm sure there's harder guys out there, but this guy has always been my favorite. Probably, I'm a little biased. I've met him in person. So, you know.
What?
Yeah, I did. What? I was a bartender. His wife, his first wife, Valerie Bertinelli, is from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I bartended in that town for 18 years. And back in the late 80s, I met them when he was on tour. He came home with Valerie for I think it was a Christmas vacation or something before Christmas, and played Miss Pac-Man at a sit-down Miss Pac-Man table with him. Had a lot of beers too. It was not a surprise to me when we found out he was an alcoholic. It was not a surprise at all.
So, I'm just gonna play a little bit of this. I mean, we're gonna get copyright fucked anyway.
Come on, you take it now.
This is Sammy Hagar here.
That's when I saw him.
But that's the guitar. Yes.
But it's not just the guitar for me. It's the double bass drum.
Yeah.
And the bass are thunderous on these two.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm
telling you,
his tone ever, but he certainly made the most of every form of distortion known to man.
You know it, man.
Especially some of those big dive bombs he'd do in certain songs where it's just going all the way, just letting all the tension out of his strings. It's fucking awesome.
There's a huge bottom end on their sound as well. Even on the guitar, I guess the studio albums, the first one or two.
Something I keyed in on my examples is really a consistent or a whole sound, less so than one instrument or one type of distortion. Because that really is what it means to me, is that really thick, meaty sound that can appear at any place, really.
Yeah, thick and meaty.
I struggled with which song to put up for, because when I think of guitars, I think of Eddie. Okay. And I struggled with which one. What's the solo that he does on the first album? Eruption. I almost put that up there, but I said, no, it needs to be something that was actually one of their first semi hits. And Ain't Talking About Love is one of my favorite songs Van Halen ever did. I think it's dynamite.
I have a Van Halen 2 in mind. It's an easy one to guess because it was in the opening montage. But
right,
and some of their stuff, not all of it, had that formula where the riff is repeated on the guitar and the bass and even the vocal at the same time. So that reinforcement of a riff, and I just, you hear it and you think, and I think that's heavy, and I've always wondered why. You know, why do I go, that's heavy?
Well, you read the definition of it earlier. Yeah. It sure sounds like it fits it.
So I'm all for that one. I think that does fit very well.
If it fits, it ships.
If it fits, that's what she said at the Apple Store. So, great choice, mate. Yeah, and I mean, I'm old school classic rock, so I mean, I'm assuming Justin is too, because yeah.
And you could easily put Jimi Hendrix in that category as well, because a lot of his stuff had that very same sound, like Voodoo Child or All Along the Watchtower.
All
Towers to it.
First thing I thought of, I
would have gone with Purple Haze. That's my personal favorite. I know it's like I know everyone, it's just like, oh, that's a typical one, but no, I'm serious. Like that like opened my eyes. That's like when I first heard it, that is the oldest music that I heard at the time, and I'm like, something from the 60s. What is this? And it sounds like metal. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a lot of people will turn their nose up at the popular stuff that everyone knows. Like some of it, the popular stuff for a fucking reason. It's excellent.
I'm like Justin. That was one of my earliest influences is Purple Haze. I was about 6 or 7 when I heard it for the first time, and I couldn't believe how dense it sounded for a 3-piece band. Hendrix, it just sounded like it was made by 8 guys.
Especially recorded in 68. Like the recording technology back then was not fantastic, especially for the more bass or lower end of the spectrum.
It also had an attack on it, like it attacked the song. It wasn't languid, laid back. It was like right up, tight as hell, attacked you.
Yeah,
And
especially
some of that
towards
is
the
how the
end.
musicians are playing too. Like the way you actually pick a guitar string can actually make a big difference in the tonal quality that you get. Like Dimebag from Pantera is very famous for that, where he would basically curve his pick a little bit, so it would create this weird double strike that would create that really weird, again, really heavy tone.
Well, look at the stuff. A lot of the stuff I listen to, Pope. I mean, how much of it is tremolo and sweep picking?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So now we're getting to it. Speaking of Imperitus's picks, my friend, we're getting to the first of your picks. Cannibal Corpse, Pit of Zombies.
This again, this song is heavy as fuck, but it also goes to what I was saying earlier, that it's also leans more on the brutal side than just flat heavy.
So what is the difference between brutal and heavy in your mind? And is can you be brutal without being heavy?
Kind of, because there's another band Pope might know of, and maybe Justin knows of, and even Keto there might know. Mortician. They're from my neck of the woods in New York, and they're just brutal. They're heavy, yeah, but they lean way more into brutality than they do heavy.
That's a fair assessment.
So we'll take a little listen to Cannibal Corpse.
And this is
my grandmother's favorite band, by the way.
Mine too.
It's
great live
heavy,
show, though.
It's heavy as Münchausen on vocals. I've never been able to do that with my hair, and I certainly never will now.
Well, you could.
You could do it, but you'd be wasting all that money that you spent on the operation. That's for sure.
So here is the repeated riff on multiple instruments.
This song is unlike, it's weird because Cannibal, even though as brutal as they are, a lot of their songs, especially their popular songs, actually have a hook to them too.
Yep.
And this is one of them.
Well, this one's got a hook. It reminds me of the Carpenters at one point. It's quite melodic. Not just...
This is a strange comparison.
It's like, that makes me slightly uncomfortable.
And it's got
you gotta figure the notes are the same. You know what I mean? Like
there's the double bass drum.
Yep.
Huge feature metal, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't know how to describe the way it's played, but it's like that double beat.
Well, yeah, you're basically depending on how they're playing it, it's essentially either you're just playing both bass drums opposite each other, or in the case of one really talented drummer I've seen, he was actually playing two different tempos, one with each foot. Like one foot
I can't do that.
it was in playing quarter notes, and the other one was playing sixteenths.
Wow.
I don't know how drummers do it, man. I really don't.
I mean, especially that, where you're syncing both halves of your body to do two different things is fucking hard, especially when you're going at that velocity.
If you look at, there's a drum cam out there in rehearsal space of the drummer of Marduk.
Yes.
Simon, I want to say his last name is Schelling or something like that. He's German. It's insane. For most of the song, he's just sitting there doing his thing. He looks like he's not even trying. And then when the tempo picks up and he's really got to do what he's got to do, the look of just sheer intensity on his face, because he knows if he fucks up, the whole song is shot.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like Samus from it's like Samus 6'6" or whatever. He's the drummer for Decrepit Birth. Dude is crazy. Like just
one of my personal favorite drummers in that like death metal space has to be that guy in the cat costume that's been all over the internet. Because he's fucking savage, and he plays in this big inflatable costume essentially.
Oh yeah, the children's mascot in Japan.
Yeah.
That sounds groovy. So that was Cannibal Corpse. Lots more great picks from him to come.
And the other thing too, for the bass players out there, believe it or not, Alex from Cannibal is actually a finger player, and he does not use a pick.
No pick. Okay.
Wow.
That doesn't
And
happen
despite
very
his name,
often
Corpse
in the
Grinder is
metal
one of the
world.
nicest human beings.
Yes, he is. George is genuinely a very nice guy. I've met him and hung out with him a few times.
Puppies and rainbows.
No, I mean really. I mean he's like huge with children's charities, and he does all the stuff with the all the stuff that he wins out of the crane machines, and he gives all those to children's charities. All those like hundreds of stuffed animals a year he gives.
Nice. Justin,
he's genuinely a good dude.
I want to ask Justin, are you Are you a thrash or death or black metal guy, or are you like me, more of a traditional classic metal guy?
I would lead more towards traditional, but I've known a lot of people, through local bands when I lived in Columbus. So I got a bit of an education just going to these local shows. But yeah, it's not my favorite, but I appreciate it for what it is, and I don't mind it. It's better than Taylor Swift.
No, that's right. Well, look, having an enema would be better than Taylor Swift, but that's
a
I
pretty
gotta
low
tell you,
bar.
Justin, I love the posters for the 3 horror movies you got behind you. And yes, in some circles, The Godfather is a horror movie.
well,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. All 3 are amazing classics. That's why they are framed, but I need to put them on the wall.
There you go.
Pretty sure you used to have an AC/DC poster up at somewhere at the point.
It's over there, and
It's
then
over
there's
there,
also
right.
a gong behind the broken door, which is why you see my clothes in the closet. You see all the skeletons there.
The gong, the most least played instrument on stage. The gong. It's always there, but never always played.
But nobody ever hits it unless they're David Lee Roth jumping around with swords and shit. Yeah.
Poor Neil Peart.
That's the one.
Hey.
I'm pretty sure that was heavy.
Yeah, Neil Peart would find a use for it, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Although I will say, Priest has a song with a gong in it. Changes.
Priest. Well, this Queen played the gong occasionally. Roger Taylor. So it's time for one of my choices now. I'm going for one of the heaviest acts of all time, the Osmonds. Crazy Horses, the definitive metal riff. Talk about a riff. This song has got the.
I see
riff.
my education has failed you, 70s.
Well, that cover art is pretty heavy.
Well, I mean, it's not his fault. At his age, I mean, let's face it. At least
Yeah,
he's not
that's
Joe
fair.
Biden.
I have failed you, 7.
The heaviest thing he's got on the Victrola.
Yeah. No,
Harpsichord. This is like some Clockwork Orange gang about to murder someone with a giant
guys-
wrench.
Oh,
that's
next,
right. You guys don't realize how subversive this is.
next time he's gonna jump out with a Zydeco band from
Look
down
at
in
that
New
size of
Orleans.
that range, you know? I'm pretty sure this is a scene from a Mad Max movie, but
Yeah. Oh, hey, Low Spec says Ningen Isu uses the gong. It's one of his favorite Japanese metal bands.
There you go.
so let's check out a bit of this metal classic, heavy classic.
I think the only thing metal about this is the metal they used to make those bells on the bell boxes.
Come on, listen to this. There's Donnie on the keyboards there.
Look out! That's the Osmonds?
Whoa.
All right.
There's a message from you in the air.
It's got the riff, all playing the same riff. It's great. It thump.
You know, this makes that Jeff Beck video make sense now. It does.
That's a great vocal, by the way. I don't know which one that is. It's a great vocal.
Yeah, but that's Donnie right there on the. Is that a bass he's playing?
No, Donnie's on the keyboards, I thought.
No, that's Donnie right there.
So he's on bass and keyboards.
No,
He's in 2 places at once.
I don't think that's Donnie on the keyboard.
Is it Ian Gillian impression?
That's Donnie definitely right there.
Well,
unless
he sings-
he's a twin.
He sings
I mean-
it and he plays the bass great. Really. But yeah, there you go. That's my first pick for a heavy song. And what makes it heavy? They're all playing the same riff together. It says that's Merrill.
Wow.
Really?
He's got a great voice.
Yeah, this is when the
Him and
Osmonds
Donnie
discovered
look
Deep
like
Purple.
dead ringers, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're
Wasn't-
brothers and everything, but damn.
Well, they're pretty close.
Yep.
The family tree don't fork.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely.
Osmond and Osmond.
Are
There
they
you go.
Mormon? They look Mormon. I don't know why.
They are Mormon, yeah.
You know what? The Osmonds just gained a new fan.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, that was
one
Craig was
track.
impressed.
Yeah, it's Merrill. Merrill was playing the bass and singing, and he's got a great voice. I mean, forget all the other material. That one song.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
Justin Imperitus, you're going to have
Seems
to
like
help
I'm
me
going to
out
get a
here 'cause,
big education on this show. I'm going to learn a lot.
That was actually
Well,
one of
I
my
don't-
funny choices, but I do quite like it.
I
Well, the
don't
funny thing
hate
is, I said a
hate
number of
that I
years
don't
ago,
hate it.
I was hanging out with some friends of mine, and we are going through, what was that one show? from the UK 70s, the music show.
Old Grey
Not
Whistle
Top of the
Test?
Pops, the other one.
The Old Grey
The other
Whistle
ones?
Test.
Yeah, and they had Hocus Pocus on, and they were doing Focus.
Oh, I
Or
love
is it-
that on that.
And I made a
show.
comment. My one friend looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, oh, this is kind of proto thrash.
It was.
Right.
It's
But it might have also been that specific recording
It's that one song in that one performance. Yeah,
that just has almost like I said, a proto thrash feel to it.
it did. It wigs out, as they used to say. It wigs out, except for the flute bit. But you know. Yeah, but anyway, that was my first choice. I think we'll move swiftly on to something by Pope now.
You should probably move over to do one by Dustin at this point.
Oh, Dustin's choices were interesting, to say the least.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
to say
And
the
probably
most.
not what you'd expect from me.
So the Beatles come together. Not even Helter Skelter, but come
Right.
together. So
I can hear it though.
There's a
Well-
reason for it.
I actually don't mind
The
this
song's
choice.
called "Come Together Something."
Come together something. So come something
Oh
together.
yeah, something very heavy.
It's
Come
the
something
Juju
together.
eyeball.
Juju eyeball.
I wonder if it would have been not so popular if it had been called Come Separately, but
Or sometimes not at all.
those at all. Yeah.
Oh, not at all. Mm,
So
clever.
I kind of get this, Dustin, because I'm a huge Beatles fan, as you know, and it's kind of got a swampy, sludgy, dense feel to it.
And there's a reason, because if you guys have ever seen the movie A Bronx Tale,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like that scene where like in the bar, and the bikers come in causing a bunch of ruckus, and they're like, then they kind of like you guys should leave. No. Like then they go and lock the door and say, now you guys can't leave. And then they play this song. I don't know why it fits, and it just solidified this song to me as a very heavy song. So heavy, not so much instrumentally, but heavy like because of the movie, and then just
Well,
I don't know.
It's bluesy and swampy, and it's a deep bottom end. The bass playing is phenomenal in it. It's not heavy in a heavy metal way, but it has a density and a weight to it. So I can't show the Beatles because we'll be nuked from orbit.
right.
But I'm showing my favorite Beatles cover band that I've seen multiple times in concert. And the first,
Are these the guys that
This
are in
is-
Vegas?
this is the Bootleg Beatles, British band. I don't know if they might be in Vegas now, but Bootleg Beatles, they were the first to do this shit on a
Very honest.
serious basis. I saw them once with an orchestra in a gig, and it was just brilliant. They played all the great stuff. This is their version of Come Together.
Here come all flat top, we come grooving up slowly. We got
These guys live are uncanny. It's incredible.
All I hear right now is the mashup that I dig with this in it. There's like 4 different songs all smashed together. One's "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett. This one
Yeah.
and Rap Band. If you guys watch a lot of those things, you know the one I'm talking about. It's badass.
There's
love-
one called Rock of Ages, which is a mashup of like almost the entire history of rock and roll. It is such a banger, and I wish I could find it on Spotify.
Oh, I love that stuff. I love
Yeah.
that
We
kind
should
of
do
thing.
more of these, because there's like, to me, there's stuff like this that's heavy, and I didn't want to go with like
I love the fact they've got Paul playing the Fender bass. Rickenbacker bass, or was it the Fender? Rickenbacker.
looks like a Rickenbacker.
It's the Rickenbacker bass that he
Yeah.
played in Wings. I love it because it had a much punchier sound in that violin thing.
But they didn't have the Rickenbacker back when he was playing that
No,
violin.
But he
yeah.
switched to that in the late 60s and then played it through Wings era. But yeah, Come Together, Bootleg Beatles, fun band. Good choice, mate. Good choice.
I figured when you asked like what is heavy, I was like, it's easy, it'd be easy to me to be like, like Decrepit Birth or whatever. But I was like, and I was even talking with Chandra about it. I was like, what defines heavy for you? She's someone who doesn't listen to heavy music like I do. and she got stumped about it. And I was, and I was like, something even like Dead and Bloated by Startable Pilots, because I don't really see them as a heavy band, but that song is heavy.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this article, The Devil's Chord.
Oh yes.
Has anybody ever listened to the Anton LaVey harpsichord music before?
I've heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I was so disappointed when I was like in my teens, because I'm like, this isn't heavy. It's supposed to be evil, and it was all like happy sounding. I'm like, no, you're satanic. It's not supposed to sound happy.
That's right. Yeah, it's got to use the Devil's Chord. I think Darius could tell us about that one.
What about the
Devil's
Candle?
Chord.
The Devil's Chord. Well, see now, yeah, you got me thinking about the Devil's Blood, which is you talk about. It's a satanic band that does not sound like death metal or black metal, but it's actually pretty heavy.
Like
Once
there's
when
also
you
like
listen to it.
there's also like satanic bands that aren't heavy, like Twin Temple.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Great example. Their videos are heavy.
We got to do more of these, because there's so much to unpack with all this.
I wish I mean, we could do multiple of these streams, and this is just the first. We'll probably revisit it, but we'll have to certainly do our heaviest songs of all time. These are just examples,
Right.
but heaviest of all time would be an interesting one.
And Candlemass has to be among the absolute pinnacle of them.
So this is one of yours, Pope. So tell us about this one.
All right, so Seven Silver Keys is from a great album called Ancient Dreams by Candlemass, a German doom metal band from the 80s and 90s. One of my absolute favorite of the genre, very Sabbath-inspired, extremely oppressive atmosphere in these songs, very heavy, as we would say. But just musically, it's just in the basement and has such a huge bottom end that I couldn't not put it on a list like this.
Giggity.
Giggity, giggity.
No, yeah.
So let's check out a little bit of that then.
So if I come up with any suggestions, should I just DM you on Twitter or something, the link to the video or something?
Yeah, just mention them and we'll look them up, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing this. This is much less formal than my normal, well-prepared shows.
Right, yeah.
I'm winging it.
All right.
I'm winging it today. I'm winging it. So Candle.
By the way, I love this suggestion.
What, of this show? That was
No, of this song, Seven Silver Keys by Candlemass. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
quite familiar with it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's what that Devil's Chord sounds like in drop C tuning.
the Doom, and it's the Doom
when did it
sound.
come out?
This came out in, I believe, 88.
Oh, they might have to sue Disturbed then.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh, it was for sure before Disturbed came out with anything.
Yeah, Down with the Sickness, that little intro.
Could be.
Yeah, lawsuit.
You see, immediately I hear this, I go, yeah, that's heavy. It's just an instinctive thing.
Especially once the drums come in.
The vocals lead to their heaviness a lot, in my opinion.
oh yeah, no, he was the best vocalist for this band.
And it's also got a majestic feel to it, though.
Yeah, you can probably describe them best as epic doom.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
you might
their
say
first album is called Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
You might say it sounds doomy.
Doom-ish.
Doomesk. It's in the Doom region.
Doom-ish. Yeah.
Yes, it's in the province of Doom,
It's pronounced Dumas.
somewhere in the Elden Ring.
Doomas. Don't church it up, son. It's doomish. Damn it.
So that's Candlemass. Good stuff. I like that one. I've heard it before. I do like that one. That's a
The
great
singer's
example.
other band, Memento Mori,
Oh,
is
yes.
very similar. Same
Oh,
kind
see,
of
that's
style.
too pretentious. That's Latin. Is Latin the best language for metal?
Yes.
That
Oh,
or
so-
German.
Epicus, Dumicus, Metallicus is okay because it's not real Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Called
fake Latin
Latin.
is better than real Latin.
I can't imagine AC/DC ever having a Latin song title though.
No,
No.
never.
Holoticus Rusicus.
Yes. Oh,
Look, so Justin, yeah, I mean, is there anything in particular you want to throw out there, and I can have a look for it, and we'll play it. You know.
okay. Well, we were talking about mashups earlier. Have any of you heard of a YouTuber who does mashups called Bill McClintock?
Bill McClintock. Oh, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
We love
Brian,
Bill.
Brian
Yeah.
introduced me to that channel.
That Bill McClintock.
Yep. Great example.
Yeah.
My favorite is Los Disturbados.
Los Disturbados? Oh no, man. Has it got Los Lobos in it?
Here we go. We're going to show this then. Yeah, I like Bill.
Yes, we have to do this. It's been on my mind for the longest time, and I just love it so much.
Stuparina.
Go, man.
Is it this one?
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Look
Why is my
out.
soul hurting already?
Yeah, bringing you another disturbing creation from the mind of one sick animal. Can't tell the difference. They get stupefied.
Yes!
The one I love is the James Brown Judas Priest one.
Can you say that you don't give a fuck?
The worst part is this.
All I wanted was just one fuck. One tiny little
There's one part when they get to the chorus, he does such a good job editing it.
I don't know that it's edited. This is the original tempo.
Dios mío.
I love the fact he mixes the video and not just the.
Yes.
Right.
Have you guys not heard this one yet?
No,
I've seen
never
it.
heard
I
this.
have-
You know,
I
I
have-
have. It's been a while, but and
thought
I forgot I have heard this.
From my memory, but
I have watched it. Yeah.
Oh, this
I've
makes my
watched all
soul
his-
bleed.
This part is great.
Oh, it's the Believe tour.
Yes!
Oh! There's a metal comic book cover, guy. Hey.
Oh,
As WG points out, this is not heavy. It's fun though.
thunder, yes.
Badass.
God, my
It's
soul is
amazing how
bleeding.
it all fits though.
Your soul
That was a great cut.
Yes. This
Wow.
Bill is a genius in
Oh, I
every
love-
sense of the word.
I love his
emphasis
stuff.
is on
yeah.
the evil part of Evil Genius.
You got people in the chat going, make it stop.
So David Glenn,
Oh,
it'll take me
man.
weeks to get the Macarena out. My thanks,
I don't-
Justin. We'll
Oh,
never
dude,
get the
I-
Macarena out.
I hated that song since I was 8 years old, man. I used to hear it in school every
Hey,
day.
Brian. I've got a jet, brother.
Well, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I wish I could stay longer.
Well,
Justin,
anything
it's
you wanna
great
plug?
to see you, man.
So do we.
It was good to see all you guys. I can't wait to do this again.
No.
Yeah, we will. There's going to be
Absolutely.
more of this for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. You guys have a good night.
Take care, mate.
Have a good one, bud.
You too.
See ya. So yeah, Bill McClintock is a genius, and we've got this. This is my all-time favorite. I just love that one to death.
That's awesome.
The best is I can't figure out if he's actually using AI to try to make Rob Halford's voice sing James Brown
No, I don't know.
No.
because it sounds like Rob.
Yeah. So let's go back to who have we? Have we got? Well, heaviest Munchausen didn't give me any suggestions, but
Yeah, I was not prepared.
no, it's okay, mate. So we'll go back to Joe for a second choice from Joe.
Hashtag world's
Let's-
okayest producer.
What you got? Which one you got?
Let's see
Because
what
I
we're
gave you a
gonna
bunch
do.
of them.
Joe gave me a bunch. I'm gonna.
I gave him one for every instrument, the voice, and the subject matter.
Okay, let's do this one. Let's do Megadeth.
Oh, there you go.
Andrew
Now that,
again.
yeah, you guys that lean towards the heavier stuff probably know this band pretty well, but
Oh,
this was the
yeah.
first song I ever heard by these guys.
Really?
It was on the soundtrack of Last Action Hero. Yes.
Yeah.
I had never. I knew who they were. It's not like I did not know who they were. I just had never heard their music before, and I was blown away. It was so damn awesome. This is actually one of my honorable mention picks, I think, wasn't it, Brian?
It was. So
yeah, for being there's two bands I think of. My brother and I used to call it mailed in music because it sounded like all the guys were in different parts of the country trying to outdo each other, and then they slam it all together into one song. Iron Maiden falls into this category as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't. Sorry, you're right. I didn't have the video lined up because it was your honorable mention.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about it? Is you think it's just heavy all over? That way?
Oh yeah, yeah. From top to bottom, their music is heavy. I'm sure the metal guys would agree with me. So
well, we'll do another one of yours because sorry, my apologies. I did not line up. Let's do this one then for you. Let me put that on the stream. So we'll have Heading Out to the Highway.
You know, man. I know. Pope knows this one, buddy. Yeah. I like the earlier Priest before they got too commercial. This was almost when they went commercial, kind of. But Heading Out to the Highway, man. Me and my brother used to hang out and wait for the MTV metal half hour just to see that video of the drag racing in it and stuff.
For this one, I would have gone, or for that album, I would have gone with
Hot Rockin', maybe.
Not Hot Rockin', either Turning Circles or Desert Plains.
Well, I got to tell you, that's my favorite song on the album right there. Heading Out to the Highway. I love it. And I picked it because of the voice, of course. I always wondered, was he classically trained to sing? Because he sure sounds like it.
Was he plastically trained? Maybe.
Plastically trained.
One of the great voices. I mean,
dude, yeah. I mean, when I think of heavy metal voice, I think of that guy. Now, a lot of modern metal has a lot of screaming in it, but this guy.
The crazy part is he still sounds like this.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're touring again and everything, and
this coming out in a month.
This is one of the few bands. I mean, I wouldn't go see Kiss now. My brother went and saw him a couple of years ago, and he said they're kind of stiff, but of course he loves Kiss. But I was like, nah, I don't want to see that. But I would go see this guy, no doubt.
I've seen Judas Priest. They're awesome.
I've seen
some friends of mine went to go see Van Halen towards the latter stages of the band.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, dude, be thankful you didn't go. They were just awful."
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I saw him on. I think it was for Unknown Carnal Knowledge.
Well, this was when Alex wasn't in the not Alex, the bass player. He was gone.
Michael Anthony.
I did see them on that first Dave Lee Roth reunion tour, and it wasn't bad. The gig I saw. That was the first one. So.
I have something to add to that, and everyone who saw Van Halen, I'm very jealous of you guys, especially you, Joe, getting to meet him, because I've tried to see Van Halen so many times. In 2007, I was too young. And my folks were planning a trip to California. We were going to LA, then San Francisco. Guess where Van Halen were? In San Francisco when we were in LA, and LA when we were in San Francisco. But here's the kicker to that. I went to the Guitar Center on Hollywood Boulevard, and I was being respectful, playing decently enough to where the guys were like, hey, and I was admiring an Eddie Van Halen guitar, and he said, hey, he's coming here tomorrow for a photo shoot. We'll let you come in. I'm like, are you serious? Like, yes, absolutely. Wow. Coming in tomorrow. About 9 a.m. I'm like, I would love to. The flight for San Francisco left at 6.
Oh man.
If I could, I would have missed the flight on purpose at a protest, but I did not have too much of a choice in that matter. So
these guys are the first arena show I ever saw.
Yeah,
I did eventually see Sammy Hagar perform a couple years ago, and of course, I got a flat tire on the way there. So I'm like, no, I'm getting
cursed.
an Uber. I'm breaking the Van Halen curse.
Yeah.
I'm that way with Iron Maiden, where every time Maiden comes through my area, I have something else going on the day of the show that I can't get out of.
Everyone has those bands, man.
I saw Iron Maiden at the height of their powers, man.
The tour I saw them on, I wasn't happy with it.
I saw them with Paul Di'Anio as the singer. But that's a different.
Oh wow!
The weirdest lineup ever, guys. Aldo Nova, Iron Maiden, and 38 Special. You want to talk about three bands that are totally different?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was
How were the
Halen-
crowds there?
It'd be a
What's
big
that?
crowd.
How was the crowd?
Oh, it
With
was
the mix of-
huge, dude. You kidding me? It was sold out. The Hirsch Coliseum must have been. They must have had. I want to say that place at max capacity probably hold 10,000, maybe. You know,
I can never get away from Van Halen's first album when I'm asked what are my favorite albums and what are my favorite heavy
it was
albums.
so groundbreaking.
And
man.
this, I mean, You Really Got Me, which is the Kinks.
You Really Got Me is a great one.
They practically invented heavy rock with You Really
Running
Got
with
Me.
the Devil.
Van Halen
That whole album's awesome.
took it and turned it up to whatever, you know.
Personally, I would have went with the Kinks version.
Well, I love the Kinks, and I did a whole show on them, but
Yeah, when I saw Halen, the opening act was the Vince Neil solo band.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
I don't think they had an opening act when I saw them. They played for 3 hours.
I don't.
But it
when
was like I said, it was for unknown carnal knowledge. I think that was the first one with Hagar on it. I think.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
saw him with
5150.
Hagar, so I don't remember exactly what the tour was.
That's right. 5150 was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been the
chaps,
For
I
Unlawful
don't
Carnal
like
Knowledge
those
tour
chaps.
that I saw him.
But yeah, this really turned it up to 1,000. That concerted bass guitar riff, bass and guitar at the same time, and even the vocal fits the riff too. I mean,
Now I've got a portrait that I drew of David Lee Roth, and he signed it. It was a club show that I bartended at. I did a portrait of him on a poster board, and when I worked at Cowboys, the first bar I worked at, I was the assistant promotions manager because I was an artist, and the guy that ran the place was an artist too, and he was teaching me stuff. And anybody that I liked that came through there, I would do their portrait on the lobby card, and the manager would take it backstage and get it signed for me. I've got a Peter Frampton, a Joan Jett, let's see, David Lee, but my favorite is, and it's not even a musician, it's the late great Sam Kinison. I saw him on a St. Patrick's Show 2 weeks before he died and got his signature on my portrait.
nice, mate.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
Mhm.
FKHC 2005 is now just about to be banned from the channel. Fluke can make a song heavy. See Ian Anderson and Jeff Littell, heavy metal album of the year winners. I'm just kidding.
Well, considering they beat Metallica's Black Album, I'm not too upset by that.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not wrong.
Well, Dave Lee Roth is an interesting guy because he's very into sheep herding.
What?
And that's true.
Nah.
He is. He's got sheep dogs. He's an expert. He takes part in competitions and the sheep herding competitions.
That doesn't surprise me, man. Doesn't surprise
Well
me.
played.
I didn't realize there was enough of you deviants out there to have competitions.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds a little fuzzy to me.
a little woolly. Not fuzzy.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's go for another one of Imp's choices because why not? Let's go for Amon Arath Hydron.
What's the band?
Amon Amarth.
Amon Arath.
That's what
Oh,
I hear.
I was about to say Amaranth is a heavy metal singer. What the hell?
No.
And
It was a good
ironically enough,
attempt.
they're Viking inspired.
I know the name,
but
I
their
just
name
couldn't-
comes from Tolkien.
I know
Right,
the name, I
right.
just
Really?
couldn't be
Which is
bothered.
not that uncommon.
Yeah,
Black
no,
Metal
Is
band.
it one of those European bands?
yeah, they're Swedish.
You do
Cool,
realize that I
cool.
sometimes mispronounce things deliberately.
A friend of mine
Maybe
turned
I'm
me
just
on
too dry.
to a lot of that stuff.
These
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
cool.
phenomenal. I first heard them when I was doing my fanzine back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I got a promo from their label at the time, which I think it still is, Metal Blade. and I popped it in. I was like, holy shit, these guys are good, and they've just.
Is it the band that uses the old school instruments too? There's one out there.
They're the best way to put them is lyrically they're Viking and Norse mythology inspired.
Yeah,
but they're melodic death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're not pure brutality.
Accurate.
They're heavy, but they're not brutally heavy like a Cannibal Corpse or a Morbid Angel or an Obituary.
The creator of their genre is going to be on the channel later.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and it's like Ragnarok heavy.
Yeah, and this song in particular, Hadrian, it's essentially a Viking party song.
Yep,
because Hadrian is the goat that lays on the hall of Valhalla that provides the mead for the Einherjar and the gods.
Wait a minute, you get
not the screaming goat. Please tell me it's not the screaming goat.
No, it's not.
Please no.
How do you get mead from a goat?
Magic.
Well, the same way you get anything else, I guess.
Yeah, milk it, son.
Yeah, you milk it out.
Milk it.
I'm not getting any. Keep trying.
Now, this has got a particular pace to it. It's kind of mid-pace.
It's almost like a march.
It's not fast. It's not slow. It's very much in the middle.
And that's one of
it's almost like a shuffle.
I disagreed with for heavy was they mentioned, speed and volume. It's like those are not real factors because you can have heavy ass songs that are very, very fast. Or very slow.
I don't know if we're going to mention Aborted in this show. There's so many bands getting mentioned in the chat, and I love it. That's why we're going to have to do more of these.
Like as an if you want me to bring up an example, I just looked one up of a faster song that is also very heavy. Where the hell did I put it?
Well, that's okay because we've got lots of choices. We have lots of choices to get through anyway. But anyway, that one's. I like the pacing of this one. I would still say absolutely heavy. I mean, it's just you point to them heavy.
And it's also, in some ways, it's heavy in the sense of it's about dying, going to Valhalla, and experiencing that.
So there's a thing. There's the lyrical seriousness part, the heaviness.
Technically yes, but they're couching it certain modern aspects behind that. For example, they're talking about being a touring band, and all that, all the negativity that can come with that, and the stress, and the being on the road all the time. But they're couching it behind mythology.
So it's a heavy metal version of The Stroke by Billy Squier.
I would say it's more along the lines of a Viking version of Waking Years. Is it Waking Years? No.
Yeah.
I like one Iron Maiden.
Wasted Years.
Yeah.
Wasted Years.
Yeah.
It's a heavier version of that.
That's a great song, actually. Wasted Years.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Justin, you got anything else you'd like to throw in? It's your turn.
I actually have a really good example that fits an emotionally heavy and also like heavy with the sound. It is how many of you have heard of a band called We Came as Romans?
Oh, I don't
know if
I know that.
There is a song called Carry the Weight. It is about so there were 6 members and one of their singers and keyboarders passed away, and literally 3 or 4 weeks later they were back on tour with Bullet for My Valentine. I saw them on that tour. It was so beautiful. I loved it's a great song. It's called Carry the Weight, and it's about the death. It was their first song after their singer had died, and it's it's very emotional.
Well, let's take a little listen to that then.
Let's go! Let's go!
I would have went with the studio version before.
Yeah, sometimes we get away with playing live stuff a bit more than we can in the studio stuff.
Okay.
Sure.
So this is at the Blair Festival. I don't know that. Now, when did the band member die?
2018.
Okay, so this is a couple of years later. Yeah, Kyle was the guy's name.
I don't think they play this anymore because it's a very difficult song to sing, and they're clearly emotional when they play it.
Where are they from, Justin? Do you know?
They're from Michigan.
Okay.
So normally I would write them off being an Ohioan, but
Whatever.
All of a sudden, Eminem comes running out on the stage.
I think Heaviest Münchausen is going to disagree with you there.
No, it's fair because we say the same stuff.
Did they ever shoot a guy in the dick?
no. But they did have a guy try to rob their hotel room in Australia, and they were caught. And the guy jumped out of off the balcony like 5 stories.
Oh wow!
Oh.
And then so he discovered the heaviness of gravity that day.
Yeah, he found out what gravity is all about.
Yeah. Thanks for suggesting that one.
Deceleration trauma is what I like to call it.
I'm going to check those guys out. I'd never heard of them. I'm going to check them out.
Talk about heavy subject matter. That, something so personal and so deeply affecting. Like that is heavy. That is a heavy song, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That makes, if you use that as a measuring stick, that makes American Pie a heavy song too.
Really? No, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
That's you're not wrong.
Is the
subject matter, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does not make it heavy. I mean, it makes it heavy in the old sense that things were a downer. Oh, well, that's so heavy. What a heavy trip, man.
Yeah.
It's valid, and it can make it so powerful that it has the same effect as a heavy guitar riff. Absolutely. I mean, you could say Without You, the Badfinger song that Nielsen covered, it's such a heavy subject matter. And knowing what happened to the two guys that wrote it.
Such an accurate description have to come from pot smoking hippies.
That's right. Don't you know that pot causes you to want to murder hundreds of people,
heavy,
according to the courts?
Yeah. No, and it was heavy.
Why is everything so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
I think Davina or somebody put that in the chat earlier. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorite movies. Actually, it might be my favorite.
Oh, why not? Indeed. Let's do another Pope one. Here's an interesting one. So, Phallic Tractor.
Yeah.
Phallic Tractor? Are you serious?
Yes.
Some of these names, these metal bands are crazy, man.
So why
Racer X rules?
Racer X
Let's
was
hear
Scott
it.
Travis's band before he joined Judas Priest.
So that fits though. Phallic Tractor. That's so you can plow, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's go.
This is actually later. This is from 1999, so we'll see.
So Racer X, Phallic Tractor, possibly the best title of the day.
Oh, of course.
I'm telling
by
you.
a long shot.
Yeah, I was behaving with mine. Jesus, Pope.
It cuts and it bucks.
Oh, God.
So let's have a clip. I don't think there's any live performances of this for some strange
And this
reason.
is all instrumental. So.
I'm hearing the phallic part right now. I hear that chord in there.
Yep.
Getting some approval over here in the chat.
See, if it was me, I would say the drumming is a huge part of the heaviness of this.
Yes. But the tone of the guitar is also very, very, very
Plus the
aggressive.
synchronized riffing, of course. Just 56 seconds.
Yeah, this is an intro track to the rest of the album.
That is really good, mate. Yeah, Phallic Tractor. It puts a whole
I was
new
really
meaning on
hoping that
John
they would be
Deere.
screaming about phallic objects and stuff. And
Yeah, they're letting you know they're gonna fuck your whole landscape.
Come on
now. It's not a
Wow.
grindcore song. It's not grindcore. You're not going to get that twisted with it.
Don't you think John Deere should just appropriate that? And John Deere should
Right,
make a
it their new
phallic
theme song.
tractor.
Yeah.
John Deere's phallic tractor.
Nothing runs like a deer. No, go get her.
yeah. Oh dear God.
Oh, dear.
I need to replace my John D's nuts.
So I guess I could pick one now. Let's see, because I'm hoping Courtney will get here because she picked a bunch of good ones.
She did.
She did. I'm actually going to do this. This wasn't my pick, but I would still consider it pretty heavy. So my good lady wife, being of a certain age and sensibility, she said, "Oh, Led Zeppelin 1 and 2." So she said, "Those two albums."
The opening track on the first album. Yeah, right away.
Yeah, so we're going to play a tiny clip because Led Zeppelin notorious nukers of YouTube channels. But Led Zeppelin 1 and 2, which are practically the one album, they recorded them together, 6-month part released. They are exceptionally heavy for their time. Bass, drums, and guitar all doing the same thing at the same time. A lot of thunderous drumming. I said, okay, that's not a bad choice. So let's play a little bit of, and I'll have to try and find, a particular bit. But here they are live in, I think it's Denmark. I'm going to flip forward to the. This is "Babe, I'm Going to Leave You." When it gets into the chorus, it gets so sludgy and swampy.
I'm really gonna leave you.
I can tell you this. Jimmy Page is on some heavy stuff in this video. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh God, yeah.
The bass, John Paul Jones's bass, you don't notice it so much. I think sometimes on live you really notice just how powerful it is and how great that rhythm section is together. That's what. See, Jimmy Page kind of floats over the top a lot of the stuff. The bass and drums in Zeppelin were just brutal sometimes. So,
Bonham was notorious for breaking drum kits all the damn time.
So that one's
banged the hell out of them. Yeah,
that one's for me, Mrs. She wanted that one then. So yeah, and I love it too. I love those first two albums. They're great. How many blues guys can one band rip off in 2 albums?
I was going to say too.
The 2 albums.
Yeah, well, just to do all of them. Yes.
Considering all the stuff I've linked you and had you listen to, I can't imagine what you've inflicted her with. So, she should have a say once in a while. She doesn't even know who I am. She probably hates me.
There's a regular thing she says is, "What the fuck are you listening to right now?"
You know what? From then on, just look at her and just go, "Imp."
Yeah. So that's one for her. Joe, I think we need to revisit. Joe, this is an interesting one you've picked here. I get it. The Cult.
The Cult. Look, you have to play the beginning of the song, and this is why I say it. This is another one where you can't help but do the drums at the beginning of it because it starts off kind of like a ballad. It sounds like a ballad at the beginning, and then it turns into this hard rockin' jam. It is fantastic.
This is when the Cult were doing their Led Zeppelin impression.
Yep.
And it's true.
It's in the the later part of the 80s. Yeah. It might have come out in 90. I'm not sure.
Women and stuff
around there.
Little Devil. He's a little. They were doing Led Zeppelin.
One of my favorite songs that I heard in the club when I was bartending was that one right there. Yeah.
So let's have a little listen to that.
You got to play it from the beginning now.
Fresh off their tour with Metallica.
Remember that guy?
Is the Cult.
It sounds like a ballad until the drums kick in.
Yeah. Well, all right. Come on now. Yeah.
That's badass, man. Wow, that's the one I picked for the drums right there.
I always wanted Ian Asbury's hair.
I love the Cult, man.
Their guitarist is an absolute monster.
What's that?
Their guitar player is an absolute monster.
Oh, yeah. I've always loved the Cult, and they straddle that line between hard rock and metal.
Yeah, that's where I was wondering where the line is, because they're pretty close to metal, but it's more of a dance song. At least that's what we played it for in the club. It always loaded the dance floor when we put it on. You know what I mean?
It's infectious. It makes you want to get up and dance. And there's a bunch of bands were like that. Guns N' Roses, Stones. They all straddle that line. They're never quite heavy, but they're not soft either.
Yep.
But this, thumps.
Love this
The
song.
guitar riff in Little Devil probably tops it.
This is one of those songs that'll get me a speeding ticket. No doubt about it.
Only other one I would say that they do that tops this is She Sells Sanctuary. That guitar riff is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's just. But yeah, they're a badass rock and roll band from an era where things were just like more like hair metal and.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But the reason why I picked this for drums is because when the song starts off, it sounds like a ballad until the drums start kicking in, man.
Yeah.
And then it's on and popping.
Popping and locking.
That's it.
Cool. No, I love the cult.
Popping and locking, kind of like my knees.
So we have to, whether we like it or not, we have to revisit Imperitus's choices.
Yeah, well.
Just
Yeah, but I love his choices, man.
Just kidding.
I mean, some of them I can agree with, but some of, like the Viking thing, that was cool. You know?
My tastes are, shall we say, acquired, Joe.
Yes, I know.
They're enforced.
I've got a buddy that's just like you. He listens to all the stuff you do.
So let's have a peek at this
some of it's really, really good. Yeah.
What the?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, ain't it though? And it's one of the more nicer song titles.
I even had to do titles for it because there isn't an image on the online that has the legible version of the titles.
Wow.
That's their band logo on the left.
Yeah. So I just had to find that and then put my own titles in the same.
Their first album cover, I couldn't even put up on my stream. So, you know.
Wow.
Oh, well, yeah, the demo, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck me, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, let me get this right. The name of the band is Marduk.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
It's
And they are also Swedish.
Marduk.
Got it.
It's Marduk.
Marduk? Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Don't church it up, son. It's Marduk.
Marduk. So what about that song out of all their songs is what made you pick that one?
Well, one, and like I said, it's one of the friendlier song titles.
Yeah, it's one of the ones you can play without getting the screen stuck.
Yeah. It's just, I've used this term to describe Marduk before. It's sonically punishing.
Wow.
That's a great way of putting it.
Because these guys are just sheer fucking brutality.
As we're about to find out.
Now, with Satan!
That's heaviest Münchausen singing.
Oh, I would have gotten like an official video because their live performances aren't all that cracked up sometimes.
I don't hear anything heavy in this. It sounds like, I don't know.
Ah, nothing heavy in there.
Sounds
Like I said.
It's like the Bee Gees.
Like I said, pure brutality. Only in more recent years have they really kind of slowed their pace down.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is one of their heaviest riffs is also their fastest and one of the ones we can't play.
Yeah.
Snail Messiah, we did play the Osmond's Crazy Horses earlier.
Yes.
And I opened a few eyes to that. I gained them a few fans.
Yes, I am now a fan of the Osmonds.
That's right. Just that one track, though.
But with this track, too, even as fast and as brutal as it is, there's a part where it does get a bit of a groove and a hook going on, which is kind of odd to think about when you actually see what's going on.
Is that 2 minutes?
Not many thrash metal bands like this that can do that.
This isn't thrash, though.
It isn't. Okay.
No, this is just pure unadulterated black metal.
Is the hook 2 minutes after the song ends? I'm just kidding. So, look, quick blast. It's power. I mean, there's a lot of power in here.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I'm actually not sure which singer they're using here either, because I know at one point, one of their singers, what they had during their mid period, was great on the albums, not good live.
It doesn't look like Morgan either.
That singer had to stop
Morgan
when
never sang.
He had to
Oh,
stop
that's
when his
right,
voice broke. Literally.
Like, I don't know if that's Legion or Mortis. Too skinny to be Mortis, really.
Yeah.
And too much hair.
Yeah, Mortis is way bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good choice.
I mean, what's funny too is when you look at the founder of the band, he's like damn near 7 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's
literally heavy.
He's a
He's
monster
just
of a mammal.
big boy.
Papa, I played the Osmonds as a joke, but it's still a nice song. Crazy Horses.
And it's probably the heaviest song that the Osmonds ever did.
We try to have fun on the show.
Was it the only one?
That's the only rock thing I think they ever really did.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. They did a good job.
They could play. I mean, that the Merrill that was doing
it's
the
not like they weren't talented. I mean,
the Merrill that sang the refrain and was playing bass, he's great. He can play, you know. But they did a few other kind of rock ones, but that was their heavy one, you know. Of course, it's nowhere near as heavy as there's a certain other choice that I've got, which is, I think, is possibly the epitome of heaviness. I mean, nobody has done this better. It is, of course, Pat Boone.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Pat Boone, forget Ozzy, forget any of those guys. Pat Boone is the ultimate metal.
And that is not
monster.
AI art either.
That's even more frightening.
Yeah.
It just looks like someone's lesbian grandma in that picture.
Well, just because you said that, I'm going to have to play it now. Then
the Pat Boone metal album. Yes.
Oh no.
we're going to get claimed for this.
Yeah, out of all the stuff we played today,
This will be the thing that does it, right?
Maybe.
People say my taste in music is
Crazy tree.
To learn how to love.
Didn't they use this for the Osborns intro?
I think they did, and I actually like it. I kind of like this.
Is this the original Richard Cheese?
Oh wait, get the chorus.
The rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy.
I wonder how many rotations Randy Rhoads is doing in his grave right about now.
Probably none. He appreciates music.
So that's definitely the heaviest thing you're going to hear.
Too
today.
damn funny.
I saw Justin snapping too, along with the song.
Justin's about.
Yeah, no, I was snapping.
I like swing. I've got a lot of stuff like that. I love it. Yeah, it's good, but it's just
great for elevators. Yeah.
Yes, it's perfect. I actually did hear that in an elevator once.
That's one elevator you wouldn't mind going down in.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, check it. Oh. I like Mass Graves' suggestion of cherry popping daddies there in the chat. Wow. Yeah, there you go.
I haven't played that for a while, so I just thought I'd play it. There's no bearing on anything we're doing today, but so that was another one of my choices. Just to break up the good stuff.
Right.
Who's next?
Scary part is you haven't even gotten to what I think is the heaviest out of what I sent you.
Well, which one did you think is the heaviest of the ones you gave?
The Bloodbath one.
Oh, then let's do Bloodbath.
Oh, Bloodbath, yeah.
We are going to get as heavy as you can.
Is it
this is just one particular sound. Oh,
Courtney
God.
says she's setting up now.
All right, good, because she's got some choices.
Oh.
We may not have time to get through them all, but we can do a second show. That's the good thing.
I might be wrong, but I'm going to guess Eaton.
No.
Not that? Okay.
So
Buried by the Dead.
Buried by the Dead. Let me just call this image up.
And for those who are into the proggier side of things, two of these guys are in Opeth.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of which is the singer and the drummer.
So
I've
Buried
never
by
heard
the
of this
Dead, Blood.
And this is just the classic early to mid 90s Scandinavian death metal sound. They had a specific guitar tone that was just, it felt heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, let's play a bit of that then, and hear what it's got to say. Because Pat Boone wasn't doing it for everybody.
No, God, no.
Come on, bro.
Make it stop.
Buried by the Dead.
Thor's
Here
looking to where to send a Thunderbolt now, 70s.
Right? Fix to say somebody's dialing it up for you.
Right, let's just turn it up a little.
That guitar sound is so meaty.
Actually sounds pretty funky to me.
Damn, that's cool, man.
It's a great riff. Crunchy riff.
good.
Yeah.
Imperitus, I like this, dude. This is badass.
That guitar sound, and that was the thing about the Scandinavian death metal too. Even though they were using growly vocals, they were a bit more understandable than the American counterparts.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God. Because most of these guys that get guttural, you can't understand a word they're saying.
Well, and this one he's singing about taking his grandmother out for a walk in the park.
Really?
Do that sacrifice her to the devil, of course.
I do love that guitar sound though.
That's
It's actually not the loudest guitar you'll ever hear. It's just the way it's been treated. It sounds really crunchy.
yeah. And the funny thing is, they found it was a pedal effect, and they just pretty much everybody bought this one pedal because it was inexpensive, and they just cranked everything on it.
Yep.
Like they maxed out all the settings on it, and they got this, and they're like, "Hey, that's pretty cool."
It's cool. You can actually make out what he's singing as well.
yeah, you can.
I never understood the appeal of trying to understand like a singer who just you can't understand a word that they say. That's not as appealing to me. I would like to know what they're saying.
Well, here's the thing: is sometimes you're not supposed to. The vocals are just
Yes.
another part of the whole piece, and
Yeah,
Right.
that is something metal does very well. Is, I mean, like Rammstein, 90% of their audience is American.
I don't know who this is, but I do like the look of the video.
The other thing
Autoplay?
too,
Thunder Mother.
No.
Thunder
the other
Brother,
thing-
yes, they're actually pretty good.
the other thing too, Justin, is a buddy of mine who
Oh
ran
no,
a distro for
Devil's
the
Skin.
Oh, okay.
more brutal side of metal, said to my buddy's wife at the time, sometimes you don't want to know what they're talking about.
Hello.
That's
Right?
true.
Sorry, this
That's
is
a
my
great
favorite.
point.
This is my
What-
I know
favorite
what she's
video.
talking about.
What's interesting to me
Devil's
is
Skin.
you guys probably know this. I'm not a big fan of Slipknot, but the lead singer apparently, I listened to the song Psychosocial. Like I said, I've got a friend that listens to a lot of the stuff you do, Imperitus, and he turned me on to it. And he said, yeah, I don't like this band, but you got to hear this one song they do called Psychosocial. And the song started and he's screeching, but I could understand what he was saying. And then you hit the chorus and he sings almost nobody sings on a Rob Halford level, but he's got a really nice singing voice, man.
Yeah, that's that clean vocal tone that he uses with Stone Sour.
Yeah, it's
Another guy.
crazy. You've got a mix of both in that song. I put when I gave it to Brian as a suggestion, it was under my honorable mentions. But since we were talking about the screaming voices, I always thought that was interesting because I wonder how many of these guys that do that kind of vocal can actually sing. Sing,
No, you're not wrong.
Most of them can.
Mhm.
And the funny part
You
is, if
can.
we get to it, I put something in the private chat 70s, the one crossover song
Ah,
that I've
yes.
linked to you guys recently. And if you want to compare the growling right next to the clean,
Mhm.
back and forth, like line for line,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's also a damn good song.
We might have to.
Opeth?
No.
So
It's
just
another
as-
another
there's a lot-
monomarth track.
There's a lot of stuff we might not get to there, but I did want to get to a couple of those. So, just briefly, I'm going to open this up if I can. Hang on. Copy link, because Darius didn't come prepared, but we're going to do one for him.
But I have one.
I don't know which
arrived at
one you're
one.
going to do, but if
No,
it's
no.
the second one, you all are going to have a good laugh.
Is this Mind Tile? Mind Tile?
Oh God, yes.
Mine tile,
Yep.
yeah.
Do it.
Hang on. I got to show it in stream. So, Darius suggested this one is heavy.
Yeah, I didn't get the official video.
Translation version.
Well, love that bass.
Yeah.
I want
The
you to
worst part
sing
about
that.
this song is it's
Sing.
a true story.
Right.
Darius needs to sing. You are what you eat, said Kamala.
That sounds good, man.
I've actually seen them do this song live, and the best part is the singer is sitting there cooking or basically torching the pot that the keyboardist is then sitting in with the stoves going. It's a happy fun song about cannibalism.
Which we all know is a lot of fun.
The worst part is this is a true story, and the guy didn't even really get in trouble for it.
Wow.
Because the man volunteered.
Well, if you want to be a
Germany's weird
cannibal,
fucking place, man.
all you need to do is fly in an aircraft in Chile. If you want to be a cannibal, I mean, that's
Right?
Yeah. So this is based on a true event. I'm gonna call it a story. A true event that happened in Austria within a few years of them writing the song, where a man put an ad in the newspaper inviting any man willing to come to his house for dinner, and he would cook him dinner, and then he would cook and eat him. And someone showed up. I don't think he signed a waiver, but he showed up at the door, verbally consenting, and then that's what happened. They ate
heavy lyrics and heavy content.
Yeah, and the part is what you think it is. He cut it off, he fried it up like Hannibal Lecter. They ate it together, and he put everything he didn't eat in his freezer. It's like it doesn't get much heavier than that to me.
The unkindest cut of all. Yes, that's a great choice. That's heavy in every respect. Then
I did like that song. Thanks for the visual.
So Justin has proposed one that I actually had on my list, but I didn't know we'd get time to do, and I want to do it now. Because to me, it would be, when I was 15, this would have been the heaviest song in my selection, in my catalog. Whole lot of Rosie.
Wow.
There you go.
I don't know where this is, but it looks like a college,
It's a London Rainbow or something, or it's a college. Oh, it could be a college. Yeah, it's in London. This song.
They're not chanting Angus yet because they don't know who they are.
Angus.
I want your story about old unknown.
Best singer they ever had, by the way.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Good Scottish band.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised Rosie's not as cheap.
You can say she's got
You see, Mark Evans and Malcolm Young just stayed where they were because they would get hit by Angus running around.
Right?
A simple song about a woman who liked to hide iPads in her.
Oh no!
Oh yeah. Speaking of heavy, Rosie.
Was it 400 pounds or something? He says.
Yes.
362436.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can picture me at 14 years old with my denim jacket on,
with hair
to this, with hair, headbanging. That was me.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have a sore neck after this show. I haven't headbanged like this in a while, man. Shit.
I love how the song kind of sounds like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
roller coaster. That's the song you listen to.
Yeah. She's a human roller coaster.
Rosie is kind of like a roller coaster in itself.
Yeah,
slap the fat and ride the ripples. Yeah.
Right. That is a heavy woman you ride.
Yeah,
yes.
It's heavy and
just like every other AC/DC song known to man. It is the most basic bitch standard blues tune, and they make it sound so good.
And they straddled the line between hard rock and blues rock and heavy. This is one of their heaviest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
And they were punk approved.
Oh, the punks love them. Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
I think the heaviest one they've ever done has to be Big Balls.
I was gonna post that in the chat, but I wasn't sure.
They toured with punk bands, and they in Britain, particularly, they were.
I don't know, man. They use
are
cannons on for those about to rock. I mean,
Anyway, Justin, thank you for picking that one, mate, because it was on my list too.
That's a good choice.
I just love how Angus looks like he's having a seizure while he's playing that song.
Dude.
Yeah, he's totally
Wow. A force of nature.
Yeah, it's almost too heavy for him.
Yeah,
Dude.
good choice.
Medically.
I
Oh
love it.
yeah,
Love it.
I'm glad you guys are all happy with that one,
Oh,
Yes,
man.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
especially
still-
after torturing the chat with the Macarena.
Oh, he would have done it anyway.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
it leads me into one I want to play because it was the one I was going to play instead of that, and it's a similar in tone and
But
sound.
just for that Macarena one, if you find an assassin in your closet one day, you know who sent him.
Hey, get out of there.
So there's a British band I love called the Wild
Oh, I
Hearts,
love this fucking song.
and this is their
Baby, is that?
yeah. And
Wow.
That's what they sing. That's what they sing in the song. And
Wow.
I've seen this band so many times I can't remember, and it's been
They
some
are
of the
heavy as
great.
fuck for a punk band too.
It's some of the greatest nights of my life. We're watching these guys. Hey, Courtney.
Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
Hey. I can't
this-
see anything.
welcome to you.
This is
And you
a
made it a
joy-
lot.
You made it. I'm glad you're here.
Mhm.
We
Oh,
can
I'm
see you.
Oops. Hold on. Now you can't.
So
Okay, hit something wrong.
Geordie band, Newcastle band in England, some of the greatest rock stuff ever made in the 90s. And this song had Mick Ronson on lead guitar in the studio version. And it rocks like a motherfucker. So we're going to play a little bit of it live. It's always been one of my... I mean, this is a song that I would get out of my head and charge around a living room, smashing into things and leaping up and down. Back in my wild days. So we're going to play a bit of that.
Down at the Geordie Shore.
That's right, the Geordie Shore. That's what they call it. It's not Jersey Shore, the Geordie
I
Shore.
think of
That's
there
a
was
real
like a
show.
French pop, like a kid who was like a pop singer called Jordi in
Jordi
France when I
Four.
was
Jordi
yeah,
Lafour.
yeah, he used to
Yeah.
do the song. Alison,
So this was at Reading. The studio version is colossal if you hear it. I want to play the live one. It's a bit easier for copyright, but we'll get past the preamble. He's a Geordie like I'm on.
Why I, man?
It just rocks hard.
I love where they actually put in a couple of licks from the Beatles in the song.
Yeah,
Certain
D Tripper's
points.
in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
but then the chorus, head fuck, head fuck, head fuck. It's all about not getting. He's not getting what he wants.
Yep.
She's a head fuck.
Damn song.
I really
Oh,
hope this
these
stream
days,
doesn't
this
get
song
taken
would've
down
been
so I can
canceled.
add all of these song suggestions to my playlist.
Well, you can always watch it again on Rumble if it does. So
Oh, okay.
Is that a mullet hawk?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
I saw them multiple times in this era in clubs and whatever. It's just a phenomenal band.
Ah, the 90s. Bands with hair you could smell.
I was divorced from my first wife, and I was single and broke, but happy going to gigs and getting stoned, and it was a great time.
see, you were listening to this. I was listening to Snoop Dogg then.
Maybe is a head.
I was listening to both.
But it just the whole thing is it crosses a line between punk, thrash, and heavy. It's just
It's pretty good, man.
Crossover.
It really is.
So I would mostly put it on the punk side of it because it's more a straight up rock and roll riff that's just heavy as fuck and loud as hell.
yeah, loud and heavy and fast and live. It just tears your ears out. There's the Day Tripper. And she loves it.
Where was
You
this
even add
at?
that little bit of
That's
doo-wop
Reading.
in the background. It's fucking awesome.
That's
I've
Reading
always
Festival.
been jealous of the Reading and Leeds festivals because the lineups were always killer, and I live in
I know.
America.
The Reading Festival was awesome, yeah, back in the day. It had everything as well. Every kind of band would play there, and it wasn't such a big production like Glastonbury became. You know, it was a bit more rock and roll. I think that was one of my picks, the Wild Hearts. So Courtney's here now, though, so
Hi,
we can get into some of her stuff.
Hello,
Handsome
Courtney.
Justin.
How are you?
Don't tell anyone my real age.
No,
Don't you
no.
dare.
87, right?
You mean
Well,
50,
by
right?
now, I think it is 87. When I met you, I told you I was 80.
Yes.
it's not that.
Long time no see, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
So,
And yeah, I thought I had some good choices. I tried to keep them a little more mainstream, and I'm kind of like regretting not really.
Well,
some
I was just gonna say.
what should we lead off with? I know what we should lead off.
You had to
Let's
know we were going the dark side. Me and
Right.
Imperitus were here.
lead off with
Imperitus
this.
and Pope are here. We're going to the dark side.
Ah,
So
ministry.
let's lead off with
Ministry,
Ministry. Why this one, Courtney?
Because it's heavy in every sense. I don't know. And also I wanted to kind of put in the industrial kind of side because I didn't know if a lot of people were going to throw that
Well,
stuff in there.
Yeah,
So,
no one really did.
Shit, now I really
Not
regret
yet.
not including Edge Crusher by Fear Factory.
yeah, and I loved this album. I don't know. This is high school.
That's a
Actually,
great-
middle school going into high school.
But that's a great example, industrial, and there's a lot of industrial stuff and electro-industrial stuff or whatever. Lieback, I would think of another one, but we haven't had any of that yet, and yet that can
Well,
be
Rammstein's
really
a perfect example of industrial metal.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are too.
Although they're classified as Neue Deutsche Härte over
Neue
there.
Deutsche.
Yeah,
That's
the
just
new German
being
hardness.
pretentious.
Yeah, everything the Germans do is metal, even their electronic stuff, and everything's metal that they do.
And
Courtney,
Even David
Let's face it,
Hasselhoff.
Let's face it, even their camping trips end up in metal songs.
And I
So
guess
Even
the
what?
Ministry-
What does?
Even their camping trips end up in metal songs.
Oh.
so let's play a bit of this.
heavy.
I love the fact it was the Sphincter.
Yes.
Oh, I love how their stage show and the lighting and the effects of the background like really sync up well with the drums. It kind of makes it hit harder.
Yes, that's a good point, mate. Yeah. Yeah, the subject matter as well ahead of its time.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, they themselves are insufferable now.
Yeah, like most of them, but they had it right then, but they've been co-opted.
Al Jurgensen is such a badass live, too. Or
The other one's
Jurgensen,
kinda
however
like
you
this.
would say it.
With their lyrical content and also their political affiliations is Napalm Death.
Mm-hmm. Haha.
But this is great because the repeated riff, the drumming fits in with that as well.
Yeah, and it's electronic, but they have instruments too. So, like, for me, it wasn't like, because I had this thing against when that, like, electronic kind of phase came in and nobody was using instruments. Even though I love synth pop and stuff like that, but, you know, for this type of stuff.
It looks like the singer stole Slash's hat and
I was
John
going to say the
Sunglasses.
same. I was about to say Slash is in more than one band. Wow.
Yes, Velvet Revolver.
What?
No, he's a badass. Al
Velvet
Jurgensen.
Glove. Sorry, just want to hear this at volume.
Not so much this album or this band, but some of the later industrial bands like Fear Factory and a couple other ones. It's almost like they engineer songs to try to blow your fucking subwoofer.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Because first of all, the notes are in the floor in terms of where the note is, and also it's just so fucking loud.
E-Clay brings up Jesus Built My Hot Rod. That's
Yeah, yes, I
And,
was thinking that too.
Psalm
And-
69 is like a classic song.
Wait, can you say the whole title for us, Courtney? I was going to ask you.
Jesus Built My Hot Rod?
No, of the album.
No.
Psalm 69.
Somebody
Psalm
has to say it.
69, the way to succeed and the way to suck eggs.
There you go.
Psalm 69 is
Come
a
on,
good one,
Courtney. Come on, Courtney. You can say it.
No, because that's like me back in speech therapy.
All right. So we're going to do 2 or 3 Courtneys because you missed out in the first few rounds. So this is this one I found interesting.
Okay, this
Ooh.
is subject matter too. Like
Yeah.
because you were saying, heavy subject matter. And if you listen to the lyrics to this, and this was years ago, not like many, like probably 2012 or 2010 or something. But it relates, so it's very I don't know, prevalent to what's going on today.
Yeah, there's not a lot of modern mainstream, well-known bands that I'm into, but Muse are one of them. I think they're a class apart from a lot of their contemporaries. And a lot of prog elements and just there's a lot of stuff mixed up in there.
You said the word prog. Just don't put that in there.
Oh, 2009. It's older than I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
2009. I said
So
2009.
this is I think they're a very interesting band, and some of their stuff can get heavy, and some of it's a bit more
This is a good song.
Coldplay, but
The lyrics are great too.
let's flip forward a bit.
Love the bass.
Yeah, heavy lyrics.
So this is a song that can be heavy without just a heavy guitar.
Yeah.
riff. It's got other things.
It's the bass and the drums.
That sounds really familiar.
You know this. You'll hear it.
Oh yeah, it's a well-known track. Very, very clever band. Very musically astute. Hell, I've even seen Brian Johnson on stage with them doing AC/DC stuff. Yeah. That bass is great.
Yeah, it is. That bass line's awesome.
I will give them this. They are not your typical douchebag, emo, hard rock from the 2010s.
That's why I quite like them. Good musicians.
It's at the very least interesting.
Can you hear the chorus?
Yeah.
It's almost
They're singing it. Yeah.
It's
I've
almost
heard
all-
this. Yeah, this is good stuff, man.
It's almost all bass and drums driven as well.
Yep.
Great choice.
The lyrics are they will not control us. It's
Yeah,
it's very
that's good stuff, man. That is good stuff.
Heavy without being heavy metal. It's
exactly. That's what I tried to go for with a couple of my picks.
No, I like that, Courtney. Absolutely.
Name of the band's Muse?
Muse.
Yeah, Muse.
Yeah,
And that
no,
song
they're
is up
Joe.
They're fairly
Joe,
popular.
you're not familiar with Muse, Joe? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, check them out. Check out
Most
the
of
whole
my
album.
stuff, most of the stuff that I know of is pre-turn of the century, man. I mean, really, I haven't. I just now started listening to the radio again just to see if there's anything good out there, man. I was in the club business back then, and I heard everything that came out, plus a whole lot of other stuff.
Nothing I've
reason I
recommended
even heard
from the
of
21st
them-
century.
One at a time, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, the only reason I even heard of them, because I didn't listen to the radio at all at that time, but I did end up listening to the radio because it was when I was in rehab. I actually heard that song, and I was like, "Wow, there's a song on the radio that kicks ass," because everything else that they were playing was like.
So, Papa, we're not avoiding heavy metal, but we wanted the discussion
No.
to be about what
Yeah.
is heavy, not necessarily just a show about heavy metal.
I wanted to show some
We're trying
heavy
to
bass.
provide some wider choices, and we've got a diverse group of people here who've got different opinions. And nothing's, well, I believe this is better than that. This is all just what people like, and have examples of what's heavy about their stuff. So if it was just all heavy metal, it
are
would be-
not synonymous. They
Yeah.
go together a lot, but they're not necessarily together.
Yeah. I mean, this is not a show where we're going to just go right down the line and be purists about one thing. I'll
Those
say
are
that
still
right.
badass songs, Papa Cotton. Okay, don't give me crap.
Yeah. So I
There's
want
a lot of
another
good
one.
songs on that album too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do one right now. Another one of yours, Courtney, because as I say, you missed out in the
I
beginning of
hope
the
it's
show.
what.
This
Oh,
is
you went to Kitty. Nice.
this. I had to go to this one because this is
Oh yeah, I remember
kicks
these guys.
ass.
Yeah.
Kitty and what I always wanted. There's a lot of badass girl groups, and this is one of the most badass, I would say. So, what is it about you like about it particularly?
They're chicks. I mean, chicks that rock. You know what I mean? Because a lot of like all girl bands suck. Really.
There's a lot of really good metal.
And
ones.
yeah, there are good ones, but this is I don't know.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them, and I mean, like, there's at least 4.
L7, Baby Fairyland, the Lunatics.
Hey, man, in the hair band days, I was big into Vixen. Okay,
So,
Yeah.
Have you heard
well,
their new
me,
song,
Girls
Red?
School and the Runaways were two that I loved.
And even
Oh,
in the
of
modern era,
course,
Burning
yeah.
Witches are right up there.
And Kate Bush was one of my early
Was
crushes.
Joan Jett in the Runaways?
Yeah.
She was.
I thought she was.
Right. Let's hear a little Katie. Let's hear these pussies roar. Get to the point where they
All of a
play.
sudden, the iPads start flying out of it.
I don't think these girls can fit iPads.
No.
I approve of their guitar choice.
That's what I said.
yeah.
Flying Vic.
I approve of her jeans or whatever they are. Leggings.
I would wear that outfit.
It's pretty heavy. I love it. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, that's
Heavy guitar. It's kind of I don't know, lounge heavy, but it's heavy.
I was gonna add a lot.
I like that guy just staring up like.
So, yeah.
I was gonna add some stuff like Poison Idea that's really heavy and Chaos UK and whatnot, but I don't know. I was trying to change it up a little.
She's got this interesting vocal.
Who is she?
I don't know.
She's
her name.
cute. That's all I know.
I don't know her name actually. I should.
Yeah, great choice. I was
And
really,
she's jamming.
really interested to see this.
No,
I hope you play the live performance of the Queens one. I mean, not
I've
Queen.
heard
but you know what I
Kitty
mean.
and
Well, we'll
Passing
get to
before, but yeah, they're all right.
Of course, nobody rocks as hard as our own Courtney.
I started laughing there.
Our
Why'd you
very own
stop?
Courtney.
I was jamming.
No, because that's a
Damn.
short. I
That's
have
all
the
I've
whole
got.
recording,
It's a
but that's a
minute
short
long.
I put on.
So for those
I
who've
always
never
tell
seen
people
that,
I'm offering dance lessons because my dance moves are very
it's
easy.
Courtney, our very own Courtney. That is so cool, and we'll play that forever. Trust me.
That's it.
But yeah, Kitty, and well, we'll give you one more before we wrap up with everybody else's final choice for everybody else.
I know what that is.
So you mentioned Queens of the Stone Age.
This
Songs
is
for the
such a
Deaf.
great live performance that I found. If you used that one, because it's
think
got
I'm
Dave
using-
Grohl on the drums, like rocking out. Like
I don't know if I'm using the same one.
it's okay, doesn't matter. But this is a great song.
Let's check that. So Queens of the Stone Age.
And
I
can I
this is at
preempt that
Reading.
with just a really quick thing? Queens of the Stone Age used to be the band Caius. Most of the members were in this band Caius. And when I was in middle school, I was at a Sam Goody, if anyone remembers Sam Goody, and I had pink hair, and nobody had pink hair then. This is like before, Green Day and all that crap got popular. And there was this band setting up a demo setup of cassette tapes, and they invited me into their van, and I'm in like 7th or 8th grade, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll get in this van with these older dudes with long hair. And they gave me a tape, which was I think Blues for the Red Sun. Is that the name of the album? No, that's a different. I don't know. It might be getting confused, but I hung out with them, and I was like in love with this one guy in the band. Then this came about years and years later, and I was in love with the singer, and it turns out it's the same dude.
Wow.
It was funny.
Nice. So you see, you could be with him now.
I got to hang out with him. Yeah, I should have just been like.
Just goes to show you, nothing ever goes wrong with hanging out with random rockers in a van.
Well, my friend wouldn't go in the van with me because she thought they said freak set instead of free cassette.
So this was at Reading in 2014. It's as loud as it'll go, unfortunately.
Courtney, I really like how you have a diverse, different choices. Like, it's really, yeah, I like it.
I'm a musician, so I love all music. You know what I mean?
I like bands like this because they tend to straddle several genres. I mean, they can do metal, they can do hard rock, they can do alternative, they can do grunge, they can do pop stuff even. You know, the Queens of the Stone Age are a very diverse band.
Yeah, a lot of them, a lot of these kind of bands, like they can play this, but they're kind of stuck in their own sort of subgenre of subgenre.
That's kind of the really poison pill when you go mainstream. Is it's easy to kind of quote unquote sell out and go more mainstream with your sound as you get more popular. It's very, very hard if you start mainstream to go hard.
Yeah, and the album was
genre guys ain't gonna like you, and the normies that you attracted are gonna be like,
you're gonna turn them off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, great choice. Great
Monkey
choice.
Jeebus just said in the chat. So Josh Home he's with I can't remember her name now, but the singer from the Distillers. That's cool. I think she's a badass.
But he's got that whole desert, Joshua Tree desert scene going on. They have the jam sessions out there in the desert in California, and various bands gathered together. It's a pretty neat scene they've got.
Yeah.
And if you're ever out there, you could probably see a lot of that stuff. So thanks, Courtney. So we're going to flip round everybody for a final choice. Might not get to everything today. Sorry about that, everyone, but we'll do one more for everybody. And then we'll wrap up. So some exciting choices to go, I have to say.
Oh,
Justin's back in. I think we lost Justin, but he's back.
Oh, yep. Yeah, so every now and then my internet will just
every now and then I take a little bit long. No,
hey, Air Supply's heavy as fuck, all right?
Oh no, was that Air Supply?
We better not see Air Supply in this conversation.
I was thinking of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Bonnie Tyler.
I did want to mention one thing that you said before. Vixen if no one has checked out their new song Red or the video for it, they're hot. You could tell
I didn't even know they were still making music, man.
But
they're actually from my neck of the woods.
Dead?
Wow.
Yeah. My buddy Pete, he's got the channel Dark Sayings. He just had me look at it. It's a really cool video.
So Imp turned me on to these guys, and I should say this.
Count and Brood, yes.
It's majestic. It's beautiful stuff. Orchestral album.
Or Echoes of Battle. What a great name.
Yeah, it's
all based on a book series too.
Yeah, these guys, I don't know if they don't play live, do they?
No, they haven't done anything in a while at all. This came out like almost 10 years ago, and they haven't put out anything since.
But this is actually
like
quite...
two guys from Utah.
Unfortunately, this is the way black metal goes sometimes, where you'll get a ton of stuff or like one really good album from somebody, and then they'll go away and never do anything ever again.
Yep.
Well, if they're from Utah, their 5 wives probably told them to go ahead and come home and, tend to things.
John Daswolfen has joined. How are you, buddy?
Just fine.
Go ahead, mate.
I just walked in the door, so
it's good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining. We're going through the final round of choices before I have to wrap up and go and eat. So let's play a little bit of this. I do love this. This is great stuff.
Caladan Brood is the band?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll just flip
Echoes of
into
Battles is the album.
It's very orchestral. Symphonic. Yes.
Yeah, those are 2 words I never thought I'd hear together, but it actually fits for a lot of it, is symphonic black metal.
It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
There's a band out of Austria called Summoning that's in the same style, and again, they also base all their stuff on a book series, but in their case, it's all Tolkien based.
Yeah, I love bands that tell stories. They're pretty cool, man.
The latter part of the song is where, like, the latter part of the song is where it really gets a bit more what people would genuinely consider heavy without going over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Papa, we've talked about Pantera and Motorhead in multiple shows. Today we're just trying to do some stuff that's for fun, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, this isn't like one of those, like, this isn't the heaviest stuff of all time. This is just different choices.
That's right, yeah. I mean, we're just having some
They're
fun.
mostly examples, I think, of different eras and different genres that all can be heavy.
And I agree with Papa Cotton. Those bands are
they're good.
heavy. Almost all their material could be, you could point it and say, that's heavy.
Oh,
absolutely. He's right. Absolutely right. But today we're just doing something a little different.
I mean, Papa Cotton, you've been around the channel long enough to know I will never shut up about Motorhead if you pay me. But
so this is beautiful stuff, and I would urge everyone to check this out. It's all on YouTube. Caladan Brood, Echoes of Battle.
Same with Summoning. If you like this style, Summoning's the band that started it, really.
And it's a different kind of heavy. It's got breadth and depth, and yes, it's loud, but it kind of builds up an atmosphere.
It's also very atmospheric, yeah. The other thing too is like this band and Summoning both make for good driving music, especially if you got a long drive because the tracks are long.
Yeah, you said that, and I did it.
Especially depending on the terrain you're driving through. Like I've driven through upstate New York in the Adirondacks in the mountains, and like this and Summoning, going up through the mountains in the winter.
Yeah,
kind of epic, really.
Wow, that's a soundtrack, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
If I drive up in the mountains, I listen to Howard Shore.
Oh, yeah.
For people who don't know, the Lord of the Rings composer.
Yes, yes. That's beautiful stuff to listen to, yeah.
The funniest part is I didn't really think that would be a thing. Like, I've never been one of those guys that like, associates music, particularly with scene or like scenery or particular times of year. And then he said that, and I think it was when you first mentioned him on my channel. And then I was driving through the snow one year back when I lived in Massachusetts, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, fuck, he's right.
Yeah, there's certain styles I'll listen to depending on the time of year, just because to me it fits. The fall and the winter, I listen to the more black metal. Spring tends to lean more into the folk metal side of things, and then lean more into thrash for the summer.
Another choice by Pope, Necromancy with an S.
There you go.
I think that's just a misspelling. The album doesn't have it like that.
I've seen people spelling it both ways, so I wasn't entirely sure. Heaviest Münchausen is back, which is good. What about this one?
This is one of the first black metal songs ever made. Well, the first black metal bands ever. This is their first record. And it's just so bass heavy, even though the production is in the basement. And I think you can even hear the hum from the amplifiers in certain parts of the song. It's fucking phenomenal.
I still want to know what people in like the early 80s, how they reacted when they first heard this.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite speedy compared to... it's quite good.
I love that pulsing bass line.
It's quite a deep bottom bass drum as well.
Right.
Sumo Orange over on Rumble had actually mentioned this band earlier.
Oh, Bathory mentioned. I see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Joe, yet another Swedish band.
Yes, I was fixing to say. I'm telling you, your musical tastes are exactly like the guy I went and got my comic books from today. I'm telling you.
The funny thing with Sumo Orange mentioning all that is I'm the one who showed him this band.
Oh, really?
It was hinted.
Oh, I think we're missing you, Dennis. I'd like to say hello to Gunsolja, Sumo, and the others that are over in Rumble. See all your chats. Thanks, guys. And Sumo's got some great gigs coming up. But yeah, that's Bathory.
And again, black metal that you can actually understand the vocals in.
Yeah. So nice choice, mate. Let me just hide that on the stream.
By the way, Courtney, yes, I actually got to see Gojira. Or Gojira. I don't remember how to pronounce it, but they were awesome, and I didn't even know any of their songs.
Cool.
Gojira.
So
I was just gonna type. I was just typing this part in the chat. I was actually just recently like turned on to their before them when they were Godzilla, like their demo tapes, and they're amazing. Like they're very demo tape-ish. You know what I mean? The quality is like, but I like that. I like that raw kind of.
Speaking of, I'm actually kind of disappointed in the older guys on this channel because no one mentioned Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult. I left that off my list so you guys would have.
Well, another time we can't do it all. Can't do it all.
Blue Oyster Cult rocks, by the way.
John, I know you were late coming in because you had to work and all that. And
Yeah.
Any particular example you would have picked to say, here's a song that's heavy and why?
Well, I don't know what you've covered. See, that's the problem because I was too busy driving back. But
Well, what's your choice? Just pick
one, bro.
Well,
it doesn't have to be your favorite song either. It could just be a great example of this song's heavy because
Flying Whales by Gojira.
That's a good one.
Demigurge by Meshuggah.
Ooh, that's a good band. I like that band.
You know, if you're wanting heavy, and even if you want to go pop heavy, that's Metallica's Creeping Death.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was also at the era before they were pop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely before, because I mean that's Ride the Lightning, so it's before they got big and sold out, but it's still one of the more common bands. So
yeah. No, the good choices, mate. And we'll get. I like this idea that we've done, so we'll probably do more of these where we pick selections of stuff to play that might be examples, not just of heavy, but just certain other things. This format is pretty good. We don't do too many of these because we typically have themed songs about bands or artists. So we might do a few more of these in future if everybody wants to hear those, of course, out in the chat. I know Pope's gagging. I want Pope. Papa Cotton needs to be on here with these choices.
Right.
Yeah, Papa. We should do another one. Yeah,
Papa needs to be on here. Yeah. Justin, have you got another one or anything you'd like to throw in before we hit the final couple?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Yes. However, it's going to be the studio version.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness.
Mention the name.
Yes. Hold on. It's a little buried in the private chat, so I'm going to post it again. Don't say anything. Just let it be.
Oh, let it be. Let it be.
Let it be.
Yes.
Right.
And you better crank that up in the first 2 seconds.
Right. So we're gonna post this. It's gonna happen. Hang on, I'm just looking for it now. Is this blowjob teeny weeny? Okay. I'm just making sure that's what you want because that's what you're gonna get. Is this
I
it?
have another one too. Darn.
Is it this one?
Yes, make sure the volume is a little higher so we can hear
Bro
it.
job teeny weeny.
From such
not that. No, that's a
incredible
reaction.
warm high.
All right. Okay. That's what I clicked on. Sorry.
Oh, hold on. Did I screw?
Copy link
Did I screw that up?
address.
You're searching for the URL. Just put the URL in there, Brian.
I thought I did.
No, he's messing it up. He's searching the URL. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. I've never heard of
Clapping asses.
Bro job.
clapping asses.
Bro job. That's a great name.
And here I was with some of my music, just thinking of even just the lyrics.
I find myself inside the restroom.
Oh my god.
And I was the one behaving today.
Right?
Right?
I just pissed on myself.
Is this for real or is it, are they
I feel
having
like
a joke?
I wrote that song.
Right?
Justin, are they serious or are they joking?
Oh, I think it's a joke band. I don't know too much.
The music's pretty good though.
It's not the size of the boat.
Yeah, this is like parody kind of thing, I think.
This reminds me of Death Clock.
Anywhere.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
It's more like Death Cock than Death Clock. It's like a creative.
Doomcock? Wait, no, that's already taken.
Yeah.
I think
No. No.
I'm not going to play the rest, but that was hilarious, mate. That's fucking hilarious. I think Darius appreciated that one, if he's still here.
Yeah. I'm see, not it's not just you who puts on in-joke songs.
Oh, that's funny, mate. I've never heard of that, but that's going to get. We're going to talk about that one again in future. That's
Brian, have you ever heard Warlock Pinchers? Marcy like the cockhorse. I couldn't play because it's all curse words in the beginning, but that's a good one, good heavy one.
Don, I'm really sorry that we scarred you for life with that one.
I'm never going to be able to use a public washroom again.
Right?
What the hell, man? It's done.
No more.
This is the opposite problem for me, of course. The opposite.
Oh, it touches the. Oh, yeah.
That name.
The penis mightier, you know.
Yeah.
As another famous Scotsman once said.
That's right. The penis mightier.
Yeah, that's the old joke. Yeah, the water's cold. Yeah, it's deep
Austrian
too.
Death Machine's another one, Masquerade, that's fucking awesome. They basically take death metal tunes and put Arnold quotes to them.
Oh,
my
yes!
favorite being Get to the Chopper.
There's another thing I'm into, which is metal covers of ABBA songs.
Oh, I've heard that.
I love all those.
That's
There's a whole
good.
load of them. I love that shit. Yeah. Austrian Death Machine.
Yes.
We're gonna
That's
have
As
to
I Lay Dying, making those.
Get to the Chopper, or give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Hang on.
To be or not to be?
Not to be.
Had to play that.
That is a very underrated movie.
Yes, it is.
Maybe we'll make that our next movie stream.
Dude.
Last Action Hero?
I'm down for it.
We haven't done that one yet. Maybe we'll do that next week.
It's funny. The one reason why I checked out that movie is because AC/DC has like a song that they have never played live, and they put it into the movie. I got the soundtrack, and I'm like, I have to check this out, and I loved it.
The soundtrack to that movie's badass.
And Joe mentioned it earlier. Yeah,
it is
Megadeth.
awesome.
It was the first time I ever heard Megadeth, "Angry Again."
Really?
That song right there.
We'll
Love
do one more, Joe, and then I've got one final one. We'll do a classic. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, this has everything. This was my everything heavy thing. It's got heavy bass, it's got heavy drums, it's got heavy vocals, and it's heavy subject matter. It has to do with the wiping out of the Indian nation, man. It's heavy stuff from top to bottom.
Just before we play a clip of this, I saw a great clip of Bruce Dickinson singing on RAF Bryce Norton Air Base, which I used to be on, with a band from the Air Force guys there doing Run to the Hills. It was retiral of the Hercules transport aircraft.
Yeah.
So he went off a Iron Maiden tour for the night to this gig, played with these guys and did Run to the Hills. I thought, fair play to the guy. That's a brilliant thing to do. To celebrate this aircraft being retired.
Yeah.
So
like I said, me and my brother used to call this mailed in music because it sounded like every band member was on in a different part of the country, and they all mailed it in and tried to outdo each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I love the intro to it. The drumming. No, he can't dance.
Neither can I.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, don't you just love metal that you can dance to?
I'm telling you, man.
I find a way to dance to anything.
Moshing is dancing, by the way.
I agree.
This sounds slower than the studio version, though.
No, it's not.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, they're kicking it up a notch now. Yeah.
My dad dances like that.
Yeah, me too. It's
God, this is in 2018. These guys are still doing it, huh? Wow.
Yeah, they just haven't done anything good.
Because I saw them in 1983. I mean, good Lord.
They still play their old stuff.
It's been over 40 years, and they're still doing it.
It's difficult to underestimate or understate now the impact of bands like Maiden in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. For me, as a teenager, it was huge. Saxon, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Diamond Head, all these bands, Def Leppard, the earlier Def Leppard, I wasn't so keen on that.
I mean, these guys were the standard bearers of the entire genre at that point.
Yeah,
Right.
This was heavy metal.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, me and my brother used to sit there and whatever we were doing, we would stop whatever we were doing for the heavy metal half hour on MTV dude, and watch that shit. It was always cool. They had Quiet Riot, these guys, a bunch of bands that were thrashing it back then. It was very cool.
I saw Quiet Riot like way later, probably when I was in my 20s, but like 20 something years ago. And the singer, I can't remember his name, but he had more hair than he did in the 80s. He had like total plugs. It was awesome. That's all I told him at the tiniest cup too. It was cool.
Another one of the most underrated guitar duos right there being Adrian Smith and Dave Murray, sorry.
Yeah, great choice, mate. Great choice.
Yep. That was my everything heavy song.
I know,
right there.
and I know that song gets played a lot, but it makes you forget just how good it really is because it's played so much, you know.
Yeah.
So a wonderful choice. I know there's a few we didn't get to. I've got one more, and then we'll have to wrap up. But and I don't have an image for it, but it is possibly the heaviest song ever made. It's the weightiest song.
Oh man,
it's got a lot of bottom end.
We already did Whole Lotta Rosie though.
So this.
Oh no!
Yes,
the heaviest song.
Big bottom. Yes.
On face, your obedient servant, Derek.
It's got so much bottom end.
And accompanying us, our Skull's new best friend, Jill. She smokes too.
There's at least 50 iPads in there.
If you've got too much of it, shake it.
So, is this the heaviest song ever made? Could be.
You know, I actually, for the longest time, I didn't hear about the Rob Reiner movie, so I actually thought they were serious.
Well,
so did half of the metal scene.
Exactly, because they can play. So, they had a life. It's like all these things; they kind of grow a life outside of the movie. But
yeah,
this is.
The funniest part I thought was a lot of guys saw the movie and saw the antics that they were getting up to backstage, and half of the real bands that were in the scene were like, "Yeah, that seems about right."
Yeah, they all desperately want to say it's them that's being spoofed.
My baby fits me like a flesh
tuxedo.
I like to sink her with my
Big torpedo. I hear the bass because it's all bass.
Yep. And of course, they
I
do it
just
for
love
the
the
headless bass too.
three basses, no guitar, three basses.
That's right. Now that's heavy. Bass heavy for sure.
The headless one.
Anyway, that was my final choice for the day. The
Nice.
Magnificent Spinal Tap, Big Bottom. How heavy? That's the heaviest of heavy.
Excellent choice.
I know, it's kind of fun, but at the same time, I love it. You know, it's kind of half funny, half serious. Yeah, we didn't do everything because we went quite long, as the actress said to the bishop. But we got a lot of stuff in, and I for one enjoyed it. Our heaviest Münchausen is back, thank God.
All right, this would be my final attempt to finish the show with you. If I go down in flames, then I'm with you in the chat.
You came back in to finish with us.
Yeah, you gotta have a heavy finish.
No, rally hard, you know.
Well, I do appreciate everybody's participation today. I'd especially like to thank our wonderful special guest, Mr. Justin Proper, or Big J as his avatar is.
Oh, yeah, I've never used this before, so
Jenny, I got you.
Come back to us, Justin. There you are.
Oh, yes.
So,
Look at that handsome face.
Thank you for being
Look
here,
how
my
handsome
friend.
you look today, Justin. I always call him handsome. He's such a handsome
thank
young
you.
man.
I dig the beard.
I do too.
I am
Thanks.
hoping
It was longer. It was like 3 times as long, and then I
Oh no,
trimmed it
don't
up.
do that. I like it trimmed. Yeah.
Well, that's what they say.
That's what it is. What they say. Yes. I will just say this. This has been a very oddly educational stream, but also I've had more fun on the stream than I have had in the last couple of years. This was great.
We always have fun here.
I love heavy metal. I love talking to people who love this music, and there's not a lot of us out there. It's kind of like it's almost
There's
like
far
seeing a
more
gay
than you
person
think,
in the
my
80s.
friend.
You're like,
there's
one
more
of
than you
me.
One of us.
It's great. I love this. The chat's awesome. Everyone here has been hilarious. Seriously, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me on, even if it was just sort of a spur of the moment thing.
Oh no, it was great, mate, and I hope you'll come back sometime for more.
I would. It would be an honor.
Yeah, and anything you want to plug on the way out?
I better not answer that.
Not that we're kicking you out, but
He was talking about slapping cheeks or tapping cheeks or something.
Thanks for
Teeny weeny.
Yes.
Thanks for being here, buddy. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. I'm still trying to figure out how to make you small again. Oh, there we go.
It's going to take a bit.
No, that was the perfect sound effect you ever did that. That was amazing.
Thanks to everyone and over in the on Rumble that's been in the chat. There's been a bunch of people over there. I appreciate it very much. Thanks for that. And thanks for everyone here on YouTube that's been in the chat. We've had a great crowd all day. Lots of good chatting, lots of good suggestions and stuff we should have covered, but we didn't. And I'm sorry about that. But thank you all again for being here. I really appreciate it. It's what makes these shows fun. We're going to do more of this for sure. Just chatting about songs and picking songs and talking about them. Anybody want to plug anything in particular on the way out?
Well, I got my Rumble channel that is going to be coming back and probably going to be where I'm posting 99% of my content from now on, because fuck YouTube and their copyright bullshit. I'm going to be doing pre-recorded stuff probably on Rumble. Basically a revamp of Rock and Roll Religion for you guys who loved that before. It's going to be way better now. And for those of you who didn't, well, it might not suck anymore. So,
or you might hate it even more.
Or you might hate it even more. You never know.
He's going to Rumble.
So,
play some damn music. Yeah,
exactly. That's where I do my radio streams. I'm actually doing quite well in Rumble, almost up to 200 subs. And
so I think our first proper video on Rumble is going to be either a review with 70s and whoever else wants to come of Saxon and their new record.
Ooh, they have a new one?
Or it's going to be me and Riding Raven and also whoever wants to come on Rust in Peace by Megadeth.
Ooh,
so it's going to be a fun one either way. It's just a matter of which one I get edited and put up first, or which one we record first, really.
Well, check out Pope on Rumble, and you're still on YouTube, aren't you? And Twitter. Not Twitter. You're not on Twitter. But
I haven't
check
been on
Pope
Twitter
out.
in years now.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything specific they want to plug?
Just a couple of new times for me, I guess. The Sketching the Privateer, where I do my comic book, is going to be on Fridays instead of Saturdays now at 1 p.m. Because I'm actually off on Saturday and Sunday. Finally, it took me 58 years to get to that point, but I'm finally got weekends off.
Christ, were you working for the womb?
I have been, dude. I'm saying, from the time I was working, I'm 58 years old, and I'm just now getting. I'm telling you, it's so awesome. I've had 2 Saturdays off in a row, and it's been great.
Good for you.
But anyway, that one, and then Sunday nights. I say nights; it's more like an evening at 5 p.m. Central Time.
It's afternoon.
My brother and I are going to move the Brothers Hack the Matrix, the headline-driven show that I do, to Sunday evenings. So Yeah, check that out there at 5 p.m. Central Time. That's the only ones that are changing. Everything else that I usually do weekly, I'm going to do it at the same times. So there you go.
Nice. Well, thanks for being here, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for all the great choices you made, mate. It's, really appreciate being here.
No problem.
Courtney, sorry, Courtney, we're too busy. We've got to go.
Okay, bye.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
It would have been
no,
funny
I
if you
won't
just
tell you
exited
now.
the live stream.
The moment is passed.
They've done that to me. I was muted one time too, but it was my fault trying to talk.
I am so glad you could make it in here, and thank you for.
I'm so bummed that I missed it all because this is like all the stuff that I love. But anyway, so now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I need watch hours on my channel. I've been over 500 for like a while, and with the new YouTube stuff. So if anyone wants to go or watch my Joan Jett short over and over again when they have some free time, that would be awesome. But I'm also going to start doing late night stuff again. It's not going to be late night drawings like with all the panel like I used to do. I want to. The last couple chill streams I've done, I've been talking about music too, because that's what I do. So, and that's when I'm awake and free usually. So just look out for that.
Yeah, we will, and thanks for being here. Go check out Courtney's. Her details are in the what do you call that thing? Banner that goes across the bottom. And I'm just going to leave you. I'm just going to leave you on the screen because we just want to look at you. We like looking at you.
My dancing.
Not to embarrass you, but thank you, lass, for being here. Anyone else? Step right up.
I got stuff going on regularly now with my gaming stream, but because I got somebody out on a leave of absence at work, I can't really play because I don't know how that's going to affect my weekly work schedule going forward. But normally it's Wednesdays, me and my buddy Toy Games. I think this week we're going to start doing a co-op playthrough of the Demon Souls remaster.
There you go.
Not entirely sure yet.
Nice. You and I are going to have to play some Elden Ring.
Yeah, get a hold of me whenever.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I'm reaching the point. You both into Rogue Trader at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Warhammer, Pope, that one idea that was floated around the Discord about actually playing it on Tabletop Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Guess whose idea that was?
That was yours, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I knew it. Tabletop Simulator is your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I want to use it to do a Mech Warrior campaign.
We could do that too.
So I think I'm at the point in Elden Ring where, because I don't die as often now, it might be worth teaming up. John, my friend, I know you were a bit late coming in, but what you got going on?
Well, on Wednesdays and Fridays on Pop Culture Minefield, I have game night. Normally on Wednesdays I do Uncharted, but this week I am doing Pal World since that's the new hotness.
Yeah, everyone's into that apparently.
And then on Fridays is Baldur's Gate. I'm getting fairly close to wrapping that up.
Baldur's Gate is awesome.
I just started playing through that on my own. So you know what? Pretty damn good game, not gonna lie.
It's addictive. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's the thing with a good game, though. You just don't want to stop playing it.
Yeah, kind of like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
No, you just play it again.
Well, thanks for being here, John, and obviously check out John's stuff, but also Pop Culture Minefield. You're a good friend to this channel, mate, and I really appreciate you being with us.
He's a good friend to quite a few channels. He shows up on my stuff as well. Yep.
And then there's this guy, the demon of the seaman, heavy as 1,000.
That's awesome.
Is he man or machine? Does he actually have semen?
I'm so glad you could join us today, mate, because
we'll find out soon enough.
It's also the man that sings karaoke songs called Erection.
Oh yeah, I have Erection. Yeah, and Courtney did that for her. She's the only one who actually liked that one.
I like that band.
You're a bit on the busy side, but today you could join us, and I'm so glad, brother, that you could be here.
Well, I salute you.
Fuck you! That's my name.
You know,
See this watch?
That's right. Next time, hell, I might even do it now if I can figure it out. Next time, I might do something really wacky with my background because I figured out to do video backgrounds.
See, you have such a cool background anyway, though, because you have so many records.
Oh yeah, this one I was using.
That's
Used
cool.
this on Culture After Dark last night.
What is this?
Booty.
Oh. yeah. Dude.
Oh God Almighty!
It's so good to be able to do video backgrounds. I figured it out.
That's funny.
Thanks for being here, Darius. Buddy. Thanks again to Justin for being here. Great guest, and it's so pleased to be hooked up with you again and doing stuff. It's magic. Thanks to you all. I had a great time today. Appreciate it, guys. Later tonight, probably much later, I'll be on Monday Night Meltdown and Comics Division, and then there'll be tons of other shit during the week. So just keep an eye on the channel. A couple of videos I'm trying to get
on
out.
YouTube also?
Hey?
Comics
What?
with the or is it just on Rumble?
Monday, Thursday, YouTube and Rumble. Just Wednesday. The Wednesday night show is just Rumble.
Oh, that's where I got confused.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
for clarifying.
I will be trying to get a couple of videos out this week. One is about Badland Hunters, the Korean show on Netflix, Korean movie that's just got out Netflix, really good, and some other shit. So, but anyway, till next week, whatever the hell we do, and we did think of possibly doing Last Action Hero, but it'll be a movie, whatever it is. It's going to be a movie, not a canon one, just a movie.
I
Not a
was
film?
interested in Nancy one time or Meet the Feast.
Film. It'll be a film. So until then, have a great rest of your day, everybody, and do not forget to keep on rocking. See y'all.
Rock and roll.
All right then.
Are we done?
I think we're still.
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know. I think
No.
we're still going.
We're
Looks,
still
it
live.
looks like we're still
I
live.
think we're still
Still
live.
live.
This
We're
is a
almost
cold ending.
Is this like the post-credit sequence? I like it.
It is.